Hello and welcome to the Dota Pro Circuit, where we are here in the Chinese region in what could be the second to last day. That is, of course, dependent on tiebreakers, and tiebreakers are dependent on these matches. The region is really heating up right now as we get down to the final few days of gameplay, and I hope your tummies are rumbling for some good Dota 2, because we're about to serve that one up for you. And here to serve this delicious dish of Dota, we've got our lovely chefs here in the kitchen. We've got Lizard and Lacoste ready to take it away. Gentlemen, what are we expecting today?
We're expecting, a spicy dish because these two teams, Vici Gaming, of course, they have a better score so far, but PSG.LGD, they are slowly coming back into the grind, maybe a bit too late, but you can see all those wheels moving together. They're moving as a unit. Their latest win against IG in the FTC tournament as well. These are some really good signs coming on from PSG.LGD.
Vici Gaming, obviously, they're trying to attack that first spot. Maybe if IG and Aster go their way, they can even have a tiebreaker going on. But as Lacoste said, PSG working really well in other tournaments. How much of weight do these other tournaments carry? That's what we always ask ourselves, right? Because IG, that was playing that FDC league and lost to PSG.LGD, isn't the same IG that plays in the DPC league and comes in full force, comes out swinging.
Yeah,
maybe they're doing it on purpose. Do you sometimes think a team would actually just lose in other tournament that they don't value as much as the DPC league? Just show a sign of weakness, possibly bait people into banning certain heroes.
I don't think that anyone ever loses on purpose.
Sure.
But they might not draft their A draft, right? Their A stuff, the stuff that they always draft in tournament that really matters. Something like that. I think definitely happens because you want to hide some strategies.
Yeah, and with that as well, with the kind of not 100% drafting phase is going to follow with a not 100% gameplay. I'm not saying they're playing weak or playing to lose, but, if one team is playing at 100%, and I think they most certainly were, looking to prove themselves, looking to be like, guys, we are here to win games. This is us at our max, and we want to scare people. Meanwhile, IG, they don't have anything to prove in that secondary tournament, and they just want to hide everything. So it's both relevant, but there's also points which can be brought against it. But yeah, obviously, at the end of the day, a win is a win, and IG can bleed. That is what we know. And LGD, they have potential, this team. But let's have a look at the upcoming games, of course, LGD versus Vici Gaming, and then we can take a look at the standings and see exactly where everyone is looking right now, because it is very, very close. Everyone's snug and close together in those standings, as we don't really know all that much just yet. We could have a three-way tie for the top 3 positions. We could have a tie for the wild cards. We could have a tie for relegation. So far, there is nothing set in stone other than the fact that LBZS are definitely going out, and the top 3 teams are definitely going to the major, but whether they go directly to the group stage or the playoffs, that is still to be decided.
Yeah, so basically, the last series that we will watch is IG versus Team Aster, and if Vici Gaming wins here, they will be in a 6-1 scenario, same as IG and Aster, if IG manages to lose that series. So it can be really hectic up in these three
Man,
first
I'm
slots.
so bad at this stuff, I need it to be almost the last day to be able to do the maths and figure out who's going where. There's some people, Knoxville, who's after the first week, yeah, we have all these options.
These permutations, guys. Okay. Meanwhile, in the lower division as well, we have a couple of teams qualifying. Of course, unfortunately, Dailanging are disqualified. They forfeited their matches, therefore all of their matches are considered losses. Therefore, unfortunately, Phoenix won't make it, and SAG and CDEC, I believe, the 2 teams coming from the lower division, swapping into the upper division.
Yeah, so I think for the next season, rule-wise, we need to have something regarding that, so that it doesn't happen, because what just happened in the lower division, one thing that you can try to fix it is not allow players who forfeit their matches to participate in the next season, possibly. Just try to find a solution. Yeah.
Still wouldn't really fix the situation in which these top 3 teams have found themselves in, right? In which one team heavily benefited from the forfeit matches, the other 2 kind of didn't. So
Yeah, and Phoenix, of course, are now not qualifying because of it, because the wins got swapped around, so they are essentially.
Wouldn't it be easier, or am I missing So probably I'm missing something here, but wouldn't it be easier to just disregard all their matches, wins and losses? Just remove them completely, right?
I haven't given it that much thought, but
there's probably some catch there,
maybe it
which
sounds
makes it.
alright. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But either way, they are all considered losses now. They are 0-7, and they will not be participating in the next season of the DPC. But back to the upper division. Up to the two teams we got coming up today. We have LGD versus Vici Gaming. Two teams which are looking very strong right now. LGD, talk to me about this team, because whilst their score doesn't look that great when it comes to series, they've taken a game of every single team they've lost to. What does that tell us about the team?
They won versus Aster one game versus IG versus Elephant, and then they won a series versus IG. What this tells us is not a story about PSG.LGD on its own, which is just a powerhouse. It tells us the story of this whole DPC, which is extremely competitive, and any one of these teams on a given day can take a victory over the other. And PSG.LGD, sadly for them, they are now in a spot in which, yeah, they managed to win a game, but not the full series most of the time. Why is it? Was it the draft? Was it the execution? A little bit of both in most of these series.
On the other side, we have Vici Gaming, who is still either 2-0 or 0-2, so looking like, just a two-game series if they're just sticking to what they know. But yeah, like Vici Gaming, they looked super dominant so far. Like the execution, I love their support duo. I think throughout all other regions, I think their support duo is pretty much the best ones. Like they complement each other nicely, what they're doing together, like the stacking, or if you feel like, one lane's not going well, the other's gonna come and help out, like the rotation-wise, de-warding, aggressive movements with the smoke, like they're just on point.
Yeah, Vici Gaming, they're kind of backed up by this powerhouse support duo, and then you've got the cores, we've got kind of the stability of Ori, the kind of Poyoyo factor, and then, of course, Old 11, who is the coin flip.
It's this guy. It's literally Old 11. Like Lacoste is talking about PYW and DY, but why are they working the way they're working, and why are they allowed to do as much as they do? It's Old 11. He's not on these greedy heroes. He's playing his Pangos, his Marses, sometimes Night Stalkers. And it's a complete opposite, I would say, from Fate Beyond on the side of PSG.LGD, because he enables PYW to, let's say, play this Shadow Shaman. And he enables DY to play Witch Doctor or an Oracle. They can stand quietly in behind, cast all their spells while he's creating the space. Meanwhile, on the other hand, from PSG.LGD, it's a different story. You have these Vipers, Nature's Prophet, and then Xinkyu. He needs to be the one going in. He needs to be this initiator, the first one in.
Like he plays a variety of heroes on position 4, whether it's like Puck, Earthshaker, they like Monkey King, like they like to flex their heroes. For Vici Gaming, pretty much they're keeping their things very simple. It's like Shadow Shaman plus 1 extra save, possibly like Oracle, maybe a Baton, Tide Hunter to be able to allow Shadow Shaman to actually get off his spells in the team fights. Just overall, like simple stuff, very easy to execute coming out from the Vici Gaming. They're not trying to hide like which roles most of the time the hero is going to be played at.
Yep, and here's the two position 4s in a head-to-head matchup. And the interesting things here, I mean, as you mentioned, Xinkyu has a variety. PYW, though, he has a consistency, I would say. Yep. And I mean, I do think it's interesting how Xinkyu is actually kind of pushing ahead on a lot of these stats, which is kind of signaling that he's maybe a greedier player in some regards. Does that ring true?
Yeah, Xinkyu is pretty much what we expected from Borax to be at the beginning of the league. He is the one that's very flexible. He's the one that when you first pick a hero for PSG.LGD, you can't be sure if it's in that position that we usually see that hero, like Lacoste mentioned, Puck, or if they'll rotate it to a position 4, right? So in that aspect, you can see that his lane performance does suffer a little bit, because most of these heroes that are flexed from, let's say, 2 to 4 don't necessarily do as much in the lane.
Yeah, they get like countered during the pick phase, and then they flex it, and Xinkyu plays it, so could affect his lane performance, which we see here.
Yeah, it's active player moving around all over the place. Meanwhile, PYW, I'd almost say that LGD are kind of a more fluid team, and that could really help them out when it comes to the draft as well. I do think Vici are a little bit more predictable when it comes to the drafting phase. Like, we kind of know, generally speaking, where things are going to go. I see some kind of hesitant agreements here. You have a counterpoint to make, or
no? I agree with you, but both of these teams, like if you just look at their drafts, most teams are banning the same stuff against them. Like versus PSG.LGD, you have that Monkey King that's banned out versus Ame. Maybe we'll see something different this time around. Maybe some Viper goes away, or Nature's Prophet versus Fate Beyond. But on the side of Vici Gaming, you have that Pango that...
Oh, Pango. Man,
right?
Pango is like, I think a lot of the teams, we've seen it quite a lot in Southeast Asia region. We see it in China as well, rising in popularity. This hero is just insanely strong. It took teams quite a lot of time to actually realize how strong he is. Like his level 15 talent is definitely like one of the strongest talents in the game. Plus 3 seconds, Rolling Thunder. He has like so.
I can see who's
so
playing Pango.
Yeah, you know, maybe I shouldn't talk how strong he is if someone is listening, and then next patch like he gets nerfed. Yeah, Pango's an okay hero. Very
you
balanced.
can really see when he's
very
playing
balanced.
the hero a lot, the way he talks with so much passion about
He's
it. Is
sneaky
different.
as well. He always tries to
yeah.
you know, shift the conversation. The moment he sees the opportunity,
But
he's like,
my
wow.
question now is, do you ban out that Pango versus Vici Gaming, or is Shadow Shaman plus Phoenix still the first ban material? Because versus them, these two heroes are almost always banned.
I'm really surprised that people are not banning Shadow Shaman against Vici Gaming. They're like, yeah, we can possibly counter it. Something that we've seen yesterday, a hero that Shaman does not like to play into is Lycan, because he can't really deal with the summons. Like, even if you have any kind of save, like possibly like an Oracle, I think you need to cover him possibly with the Tide Hunter, with the Anchor Smash, and then you need to like hold hands together to be able to survive. But this is something that Shadow Shaman really struggles against.
And now when we covered all these picks that are very natural for the two teams, we have to talk about picks that are natural for the whole region or the whole meta right now. What about Alchemist? Is he just going to be forgotten? You know, these kind of things. That Prophet as well, that's been resurging heavily in the Chinese scene.
Out of the two teams, for some reason, I just feel like LGD want the Alchemist. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like this team could play really well with the Alchemist. It seems to fit their playstyle a little bit more. It's a strong laner, despite what you might think about a hero like Alchemist. He is a strong laner. You can leave him alone, free up Jinkyu a bit, and then also benefit your team a lot.
Yeah. Alchemist is just actually insane when paired up with like certain heroes. We see even like more greedy stuff paired up with the safe lane like Alchemist. You put Enigma as a 5, you deny the range creeps. It's very hard for them to fight into Acid Spray. Acid Spray lasts 16 seconds on all levels. It's actually insane how long the duration is.
We can take a quick look at the hero pools between the two teams. You can exactly see where those crossovers are. And to nobody's surprise, of course, on the side of Vici Gaming, we have all those familiars we were talking about.
Yeah, and you pretty much see the heroes that are picked the most. Mars, top pick hero right now in the Chinese region, also doesn't really have a amazing win rate, but he's solid. Oracle as well, very, very, very popular in the region. I don't think we'll see any more shakers like in this tournament in the next days. Maybe.
Yeah,
but
the shard, like I tried it. It just feels like it doesn't sound that bad on paper, but when you try it in the game and compare it to what it did before, it just like there's a night and day difference.
But we do have ourselves a draft, so let's jump into the draft for game number 1 of Vici Gaming versus PSG.LGD.
Gyrocopter, PSG.LGD, like they play that hero against IG in FDC. It was flexed to position 5. This hero has a ton of he has a ton of potential as a 5 or as a 4. I've seen like Puppy playing a lot of different position 5 heroes in his pubs where he's trying to make heroes that have a lot of stats gain. Like they become so naturally tanky. New shard on Gyrocopters also really good. I'm not saying it's a 5, but
it's possible to flex it.
Like flex it, yeah.
Yeah, Fogged and me, we also like try stuff out in our pubs. We've been working out with Gyrocopter 4 quite a lot. I think this hero is just insanely
historically,
good.
this hero has been one of those that you can flex, but it can also
got good spells.
Yeah, he's got good spells. He deals a lot of damage, but eventually you feel like, all right, what am I exactly doing here?
No, it's super versatile. Like you can even play it on a mid lane. I don't mind
on
the
mid lane. I don't mind
Gyrocopter
it.
as well.
Carry or mid lane, I don't mind it. They did play it on 5. They did win versus.
All right, Lizard, you have to trust me on this one. Like this hero is the future. If he does not get touched, position 4 and 5, like it's gonna be really, really good.
What's interesting about this Gyro though is that it's clearly something they've been scrimming with a lot, because the first time we saw it even in the drafts was in their game versus eHome, where eHome banned it first phase twice, and we were like,
Why are
Miho,
they
what is
picking?
you doing?
Yeah.
Like, why are you banning gyro? But then they didn't ban it against IG, and they picked it up versus IG, and it looked really good. So this is...
Speaking of other heroes, these are all pretty much what we expected. You see the Pango picked up by Vici Gaming, talked about it a lot. On the other hand, Void Spirit and Earth Spirit. So Void Spirit in PSG.LGD is the hero that they go for if Puck is banned. Out of their last 5 games, they literally only played Puck or Void Spirit on mid lane. Vici Gaming, okay, this is interesting. Shadow Shaman banned out, they go for Earth Spirit, because in the last 5 games, if Earth Spirit is banned out, they go for Wind Ranger. Still, yeah, solid. I actually even like it more than Wind Ranger overall for PYW.
Yeah, I feel like Wind Ranger's just not winning games.
If he has like an amazing game and he gets an early Blink Dagger, then it's good. But if he's countered by anything and he needs to go for defensive items, just doesn't do anything on 4. Feels very bad.
Still want to see the shard, though.
Not
Yeah,
happening.
Just sniping people.
All right, hear me out. Okay, Bloodseeker, Wind Ranger, buy the shard, global snipes. Amazing.
People did that before Nomad while you were, in diapers, Zeus,
Shard
Spectre,
didn't exist.
Nature's Prophet, back in Dota 1 days. It's been tested out. Clockwork on top of that. These are some old school Dota 1
Age of
heroes.
Shards you had in
Apparition,
Dota 1.
Spectre.
lacrosse.
No, not Shard, but the same kind of approach, the global presence coming up from the heroes. So Pango and Earth Spirit from Vici Gaming, I don't think they're like flexing too much here. I think that's just their off lane and position 4. Could, I'll say something that might sound stupid again, but the Pango leader can be played as 5. I remember like a couple of months ago, I've seen... Who was it? Insania from Liquid playing it. I also watched like one game of Puppy yesterday playing Pub. So I think this hero has like a lot of potential even from the 5. Like you can be in this meta, you can be greedy. You can go for 5s, which are like not the classic ones. You're like ancient apparitions. You're maybe like even wisps. Anything like wyverns, whatever. Like you can just go more greedy style with position
There's also
5.
this thing that when a hero is broken on some position, you can usually relegate him a little bit down lower from offlane to, let's say, a 5 or a 4, and he'll still do something. It might not be the greatest pick, but it'll be alright. The bans from PSG.LGD, Abaddon, just a very popular hero in Chinese region. Wraith King and Phoenix. That Phoenix is... I expected it much earlier, actually, but alright. They realize Vici Gaming, they need that 5. Let's get rid of DY's Phoenix that they won so many games with.
I'm wondering if they're going to... Oh, they banned techies. The Jinkyu techies, and they actually banned it out. I wanted to see if they will protect their Pangolier. I wanted to say, like, ban Beastmaster, ban Grimstroke, but they actually take the Grimstroke.
Yeah, if they're playing this Earth Spirit, they always get a Grimstroke with him. And also, they've played the same draft a couple of times. Grimstroke also covers the Pangolier, which is nice. So just a really solid trio that can do a lot on their own, and now you just have to find the right hard carry and the mid laner, but these 3 are very independent already, regardless of what
Strong opener, Grimstroke, kind of forgotten as a hero. We see him from time to time. Which heroes have leash mechanic? Slark, Puck, there you go. Like, one of the most popular heroes right now are the Spirits. They can't do anything against the leash, so like kind of a natural choice to go for the Grimstroke. I think we're going to see quite a lot more of this hero. Like this hero is just insanely good. He's nukes. Like he has everything. I love to compare him to like Tusk, where like all things are covered.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tusk,
there you go.
There's your boy.
For PSG.LGD, when they're picking their position for Xingqiu, if it's not some crazy flex like techies or whatnot, it's almost exclusively a hero that can go in and initiate the fight. So your Tusks, Earth Spirits, sometimes something tanky like an ET Pango, but yeah, just keeping it very, very simple and open for them.
Okay, so like usually this has been since like Tusk was as a hero. You don't care about his rotations with the snowball, with the shards. You get the hero that can blink over that, and that's Queen of Pain. They don't have like the best hero to like what do they have? Like they have Shadow Strike and Grimstroke ulti, but it's really not that important. Before I was on the train where like you need to have single target ability to pair up with the Grimstroke. I feel like Grimstroke is just that strong right now.
By the way, this is a 5 gyro again.
Yeah,
you called it. It's not, they can still maybe flex it on offlane or something, but I believe it's 5.
Yeah.
And, so far, out of these 8 heroes that we're witnessing, Queen of Pain is the only one that hasn't been picked in the last like 5 games for both of these teams. Everything else is kind of predictable, so they aren't really moving too far away from the tried and tested. If you just look at their FDC games and the last game for PSG.LGD versus eHome, Vici Gaming's versus Elephant, literally every single hero here has been picked. So far, let's see.
The Weaver ban. Very
Yeah,
important.
Weaver as well. Pretty much, it's picked quite often into the Troll as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Just generally a strong hero right now.
So far from Vici Gaming, what usually is picked instead of that co-op is something like an SF, but let's see this analysis so far.
Now break it down, Lizard.
I'll break it down. The only thing that we see from Vici Gaming right now is that some rush damage is missing there. They don't truly have a lot. And Nature's Prophet, there you go. That's 100%. Yeah, PSG.LGD. That's Fate Beyond Zero. That's your offlane. It's either Viper or the Nature's Prophet.
And Viper is banned out.
Yeah, Viper banned out. They go with
Well,
the
there
Prophet.
you go then, the other green dude. But that fills up the bars quite nicely for LGD. Does seem to believe in the draft analysis that they are lacking across the board, really, on the side of Vici Gaming. So LGD, the grand strategy, got to come through here rather than just straight up.
Yeah, you do have some heroes to deal with those split pushes, heroes that hunt the Nature's Prophet quite easily, like Earth Spirit, and you have the Quap as well. You have the Grimstroke and Pango to outpush, but if he gets that Orchid fast enough, it can be kind of scary for the...
Yeah, it looks like a good PL game.
PL coming in hot. I mean...
Like playing into
good.
Troll with Battle Fury, you can still feel great. Like you don't necessarily need to kill the Troll here. You have the tools, the controlling with all your stuns, with the disarm. Like also picking Troll into Pango could be a bit tricky. Like actually one of the worst matchups for the Troll.
Yeah.
I've seen it quite often in other regions as well, where like Pangolier just completely dismantles Troll, like does not allow him to play Dota pre-BKB. So yeah, I'll go with Vici Gaming. I think they have all the tools. Nature's Prophet Sprout, not going to get any value in this game. They have 4 heroes that can just get out of it, jump, doppelganger, whatever. So like I feel like Vici Gaming just really outdrafted them here.
These two teams have picked pretty much what seems to me their full comfort zone and their best. But I'll still go as well with the Vici Gaming. I like the Troll in the Troll PL matchup, but I still feel that Vici Gaming's draft is a bit better, a bit more rounded up.
I want to disagree with you guys, but at the same time, I'm struggling. I mean, the Grimstroke, whilst he doesn't have a clear core to use his spells with this game, he can still just use it with PYW. He's going to rock it on this Earth Spirit. I'm going to go with Vici Gaming as well, but maybe our brave casters will give us some counterpoints here. Let's see what they have to say as we bring in B-Cop and Black to give us their thoughts on the draft for game number 1. Guys, what do we be thinking?
You want to go first?
Nice close-up today.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Try to shift over a little bit. Yeah.
All right.
In a frame.
How's
there
it
we
going,
go.
brother? You doing all right?
Doing well.
But I am going for VG Gaming.
Oh, okay.
How about you?
So I got to be that 5th guy, either all 5 or 1.
Yeah.
Ooh, what were the coffee beans saying today? I mean, I like Vici's draft a lot, but I feel like I just want to be on the other side, go LGD. But I'll go Vici. 5 for Vici. It's fine.
5 for Vici then. Well, we do have a game pause, so tell me what has to go right for LGD for them to take this game then.
Yeah, what has to go right for them?
Like
well,
he
from
instantly
my high
moved.
MMR analytical point of view.
The Troll has to pop off.
Oh, okay. They have to pop off, yeah. I'll give you the basics of what
They have to pop
draft.
The
off.
whole team.
The whole
The
team
whole
just
team
pops
just has
off.
to do everything right.
No, no, no.
Game, man.
This Troll PL matchup can be pretty Troll favored. Once he gets, that fast Battle Fury up,
No.
he outfarms the PL by quite a bit. It's very hard for the PL to fight, especially nowadays when they don't really go Manta style anymore. You get rooted
Thank you,
once,
Black.
And you're done. Yeah?
Yeah, get rooted once and you're done. Let's see if they can pull it off. LGD
sorry.
here in game number 1 versus Vici Gaming. Take it away, B-Cup and Black.
That was my answer, by the way.
I know. That's why I told you your answer.
Okay. I'm just making sure you know
I was just
that.
there to protect your integrity.
I can't be put on the spot like that. I start to feel a lot of pressure.
I know. I'm just training you for the major, you know.
Right. Yeah, I need some training. I need some help when it comes to that. I need to have better answers. Be ready.
That's what I'm here for, man. I'm not here to hurt you, but here to help you improve, you know? Like, that's what my job is. I'm not a co-caster. I'm here to tickle you.
You're my coach.
Yes.
You know?
Coach caster.
I appreciate that. I actually don't hate LGD's draft that much.
No, it's decent. I've not really seen much of the support gyrocopter.
I think the one thing that gets me is I get a little nervous with Ame on Troll. We've
Don't
seen
like
it
it
a
too
few
much?
times. I think he plays it well. I think there's just situations that he ends up finding himself maybe not doing as much. And PYW getting chased here.
Who's
Homing
that?
Missile comes in, and with the tag team, the damage, Ame will get first blood over PYW. So it's a good way to start it for LGD. This is certainly, if they were to keep this tri-lane, which they're not, it would be an interesting little tri-lane right there. As you could see, they could just go in, tag team, Homing Missile, and a slow coming in from Ame with those whirling axes.
Yeah, gyrocopter is definitely a support that's pretty unconventional, but he has very good stats gain and a lot of magic damage.
Right.
Yeah, so it can definitely work. I've seen it work a couple of times, but at the same time, I've also seen it get completely obliterated a couple of times because it's not a tanky hero. You don't really do too much unless you get these perfect scenarios. We'll have to see how he makes it work. Like, I'm sure this game is really important for LGD. They need to win it to force a tiebreaker because we're all expecting Elephant to beat Magma. So they're definitely taking this game very seriously.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the biggest matchups you're going to see throughout the entire DPC at this point. And I'm wondering at least why Vici, they were keeping 3 up top for a while, leaving Erica to just kind of fend for himself at the moment. Is that okay for the PL to be by himself for that long? Like, could they even get PL a couple of levels and see DY rotate some more?
It's okay because Prophet isn't the strongest laner against Phantom Lancer, so he doesn't really care too much. We can see him sitting at 6 CS even though he was solo for quite long and still has most of his region as well. But yeah, this PL, it's definitely a very good pick here. It can pop off, but I mean, there's a lot of things that can go wrong for him too, you know. An early Orchid on the Prophet could mess him up. The Troll, as I said, if he's too farmed, can mess him up.
Yeah, Erica taking a lot of damage already, and now they're going to go to the Snowball. Erica forced to try and doppelganger away. And that is already a lot of damage coming in, and LGD with the 1K lead. They're feeling quite comfortable, and I look at Faith Beyond, like you said, potentially getting that Orchid. And something we really haven't talked about too much just yet is the Ori Nothing to Say matchup over mid, which is probably one of the most skilled matchups in terms of players that we'll see in this region, because I've talked about it all season, how good these mids are throughout the region, and you get an opportunity to see Nothing to Say against Ori, which is always a fun one.
Yeah, it's also 2 heroes that are super skill dependent. Like, this matchup is really just purely based on skill. Can you dodge Shadow Strike? Can you fake out enough Shadow Strikes? And I mean, Void Spirit does have the edge just in terms of raw stats, but Quap, of course, is ranged, which is always a big advantage in these matchups.
So, already, like I said, a 1K lead. Snowball in on the DY with the tag team. We'll throw the Ink Swell on Erica. DY just getting away as it pops. Survives with 80 health, but it's still a little bit of damage coming Erica's way, and actually back towards Jinkyu.
He still has a healing salve though, so he is perfectly fine. Prophet, of course, advantage of the hero is he can always just TP back to base and back to lane, get a free refill, which puts a lot of pressure on most carry heroes. Also, this Tusk is just such a good hero, this tag team, especially with a hero like Nature's Prophet, who has very good stats gains, very good attack range, as well as attack speed. Super good combination. And they're starting to put on the hurt here.
Already 2K ahead. This is quite the lead for them. Rocket Barrage and the homing missile coming through on a PYW. Looking to get this kill. Roll in, slow out from Ame. And Innocence will be the one who kills off PYW. There will be an assist there for the Troll as they play a little bit too aggressive towards that gyro. LGD so far so good.
2K
Things
lead
looking good.
in 4 minutes.
Yeah,
They are absolutely dumpstering VG right now.
quite the advantage, and really just a bit of a struggle right now from Vici, which is a surprise. We haven't seen them struggle so much throughout, I would say, the DPC. DY getting chased once again, tagged him with the right clicks, and it's just easy pickoffs right now.
It is. A lot of pressure coming out from LGD. The initial 3 bounty runes they got, they really put to a very good use. Like they snowballed in all 3 lanes, and they're just ever so slightly ahead on those lanes. However, the Quap is doing quite well for himself, and once he's 6, there's a lot of room for rotations.
Ooh, keep the remnant with the homing missile. A lot of lockdown on Ori. Not so much in terms of damage, though, to follow that up. Is there a point where Vici start to feel a bit of a power spike? Like right now, LGD are leading the way, and you want Vici to kind of hit that spike. But as I say that, again, they go onto these supports. Inkswell pops, GQ getting low, Erica comes in. Should be one for Vici, but the Sprout stops them from getting onto the high ground and getting this Tusk. They'll turn it around, get the kill on a DY. PYW taken out by neutral, so 2 die on Vici, and they're still looking for one more.
This is the scenario that the Gyrocopter loves. Like no creeps, no nothing, just heroes to spam your Q on, and he dealt so much damage that fight. Now they're up 3k already, and what's the power spike? Quap 6 will have to do a lot this game. As I say that, nothing to say, dropping very low. That seems to be alright though.
Dire's
Just
middle
jumping
tower
away
is
there.
under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This is actually the one who fills the lane. PYW coming in.
Well, that means Quap ult used for no kill, and now this strong power spike is suddenly gone again.
Yeah, they've got the snowball still looking for Warrior, at least deterring him from going for that rune.
Yeah, he can't blink on top of that. He gets remnanted, he's dead. So he doesn't get, you know, tilted and blinks on top like a lot of other players would.
How many times have you seen that?
How many times have I done that?
Just your face of sincerity when you looked at me like, yeah, how many times have I done that? And I was,
Way too many, man. It's just like, you know, you get so mad. Like, ah, shit, that DD rune, damn it. I want that.
and your bottle just sits there unfilled. Ooh, a lot of damage coming in from that swashbuckle. Faith Beyond getting chased, Rolling Thunder. That'll hit. This should be the end of Faith Beyond on this one.
Finally on the board. VG here. Still rolling in. Grimstroke there, level 2 Inkswell.
Yeah, hold 11 though. Astral Step coming through. Nothing to say. Gets a kill. They might even look for DY. He's popped this double damage. It should be 2 dead on the side of Vici, and it will be. Erica forced to hide within the trees behind the tier 1 tower.
LGD is dismantling
They're rolling.
VG right now. Like, they're just out-moving them throughout the entire map. They're just faster, more efficient, and they're really making good use of the gold lead.
That was really good from Faith Beyond down there bottom, too. He comes in, TPs, refills the bottle, and nothing to say, and that means they can sustain this push onto the tier 1 tower. And with the siege creep, I think they take.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything to really defend. Quap ult's still on cooldown for 10. And they can't really get a trade either. Which is, it's a pretty rough scenario for VG. Like we said, how good his PL will be. But if you're so far behind, PL will be a non-factor. We said how much AoE damage they actually have once the Stroll gets his Battle Fury. Prophet is actually not going Orchid, he's going Witchblade first, so prioritizing just more damage.
GQ getting chased here. With the roll coming through from PYW, that'll stop the TP, the Geomagnetic Grip onto both. Nothing to say as well as Jinkyu getting the silence onto those heroes. They finally get the kill on a Jinkyu, but nothing to say is in deep. Inkswell onto Hold 11, but they don't get it off as the Prophet Ult comes in and gets the kill onto this Pangolier. They take out DY in a follow, end up losing Innocence to 2 for 2 so far. With PYW sitting low, but Ori there to protect him.
2 for 2, I would say, usually is a good trade for a team that's losing so hard, but it was only a 4v5. Troll was still farming, and they still managed to get an even trade, which does still benefit LGD quite a bit. Still sitting at 4k gold lead. And I'm not too sure about this Witchblade first. I feel like Orchid first, you pressure the PL a lot. All the heroes. Pangolier is afraid of it, Quap is afraid of it, PL is afraid of it. I just feel like rushing this Orchid is so good on this Prophet hero. We'll have to see if it backfires a little bit or not. Because once his PL gets strong, you don't have any answer for him.
Yeah.
He can just run you down on that Prophet.
interesting to see not the Orchid, but the Witchblade, like you said. We'll see how much time they can make for Erica. He didn't exactly have the best lane, and you could see that between him and Ame in terms of net worth, there's a 1,300 net worth difference.
It is going to be a bit problematic. PL seems to be going for Yasha first with that band of Elven skin, and not for the Diffusal. Maybe he didn't quite see that the Prophet is going for Witchblade, but this game, you need an early Diffusal. You need to be able to fight and come back into this game. Because this troll is going to snowball if you don't. He's already 1,500 gold ahead. Once he finishes his battlefield, it will only accelerate even faster.
And this is exactly what you were talking about. How can LGD win this game? It's by troll popping off, and if he gets that Battle Fury, gets his second item afterwards. That could be the moment where LGD just put Vici so far behind that they really don't have an answer at that point.
Smoke rotation here from Void Spirit as well as Gyrocopter.
And they're going to come around there.
PL might be in trouble here.
Erica, Snowball, Astral Step, and got the control. Such a quick kill onto the Phantom Lancer. PYW looking like he's next, as those are perfect shards, but
no
don't
damage.
have the damage to get the kill.
Close.
Rolling Thunder.
They have Pop Wave available too.
Now they're going to go for it. Faithion hit up into the air. Ori holding that ulti patiently. And Faithion still falls. They want to get another one. They've got the disarm of the Swashbuckle. And the blink forward. Ori playing aggressive, but just doesn't want to continue to go for nothing to say under that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they still got what they came for though. They stole one bounty rune and they got the kill on that Phantom Lancer, who is the big winning condition for this Radiant team. While the troll is still farming away, now about 1,000 gold away from the Battle Fury.
And it looks like, all right, Erica had Sanji Yasha, now he's got Manta queued. He's going between a couple of items right now, and it looks like he's kind of unsure what he wants.
As I said, I'm not a big fan of this Manta first, or even Yasha first. You need this Diffuser play to exert some pressure. You have this Yasha, you farm faster, sure, but this game is not about farming anymore. This game is about fighting your way back into this game. Because they're gonna run away with this game if you don't.
Yeah, and it's an interesting pickup for Faithion. What he wants to go for is the Gleipnir next. So he's going Witchblade Gleipnir, not going towards that Orchid at all. Do you think Gleipnir is an item that's suitable for continuing to roll through this game?
Lane.
To say that bottom as well. They're going in on multiple lanes. They'll look to get the kill here. Call down on a 2. Snowball coming in. Couldn't save the Gyrocopter, but looks over with the tag team, as well as the Walrus Punch on a PYW. The stun's on a Jinkyu. They will TP out this Pangolier, but get the kill and trade for supports.
Yep, support trade. Slightly benefits probably LGD still again, because it was a pos 5 for pos 4. I mean, the problem is really they're not pressuring this troll at all, who is just over 2,000 net worth ahead already, before even completing his acceleration item. It's going to be really scary. PL, Yasha completed, but Troll Battle Fury completed. Like, it's just like night and day.
Yeah, you're accelerating your farm with the Battle Fury Yasha, not so much. Quick kill there on old 11. Again, double damage on nothing to say.
It's such a good rune on Void Spirit. Like, every Astral Step just deals like 400 damage. It's brutal. Perfect rune pickup for him as well. Huge Ancient stack as well for the Troll.
Ooh, mid. Sonic Wave comes in. Got silence on a Faithion. He's trying to run. One more shot from PYW is there to get the kill on a Faithion, but they're going to have nothing to say going in deep looking for the kill on Ori, and they will find the trade so far. PYW just getting away, and that double damage still doing so much work here for this Void Spirit as well as LGD.
Yep. PL, however, gets a top tower, which is pretty good for them. But they lost their Quap again, who is rushing an Orchid. And every death just delays your Orchid by so much, and the later the Orchid comes, the worse it is for you, of course. Already Yule's completed on Void Spirit, so he doesn't even care about that Orchid.
Yeah, because you've got so much movement here. You can just Yule's Astral Step away, or dissimulate Astral Step, and you're gone. You're not really going to get chased too much. The roll comes in and hits Innocence because nothing to say dissimulates. They've got the call down on a couple of heroes. The second one comes in, and PYW ends up falling. That was a big call down onto 3 heroes.
11 a little bit alone in here. Okay, manages to roll out.
Erica looking like he wants to join the fight, but all he's got is a Yasha.
Yeah, as I said, this Yasha does nothing on a PL to fight. Like, he could have had his Diffusal by now and be in a very good position to fight. But he chose to go Yasha. If he completes his Manta style, he will be, you know, not really a lot of benefit for the Radiant side for a long time. It's a very farm-oriented build. It's a very passive item build.
Yeah. and you're going to start feeling pressure from LGD. The more and more they get ahead, Faithion, he can help push anywhere on the map. If they want to take a tower, they can move around quite well. Like, if they start taking the mid-tier 1, and they start taking out your map and squeezing it down, how is PL even going to get that farm to get to the Manta and his second item coming
It's going to be very hard. That's why we'll have to see if this Manta style first pays off or not. They're itemizing into an ATOS on the Prophet, which means the Quap is going to be in even more trouble. They already have the Yules for setup. It's going to be a very tough game for Ori from here on out. They're doing a 2-man smoke, just Tusk and Void Spirit. Not finding anything though.
Yeah, they got scanned out, so I assume Vici, yeah, they're moving away from this little smoke play from LGD.
Yeah, maybe get a deep ward in. Troll, Yasha completed, going to the BKB next. I love that item build. Once he gets his BKB, there's nothing that can touch him on the Radiant side. And that's probably when they're looking to go for Roche as well. Mid tower, sitting at 400 health. The next focus of LGD.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
The Atos is the right first component here on the Gluttony, right? For the Queen of Pain?
Yeah, I mean, it's the more... You can't really call it more offensive, but more catchy. Like, they don't have too much catch, so this Atos makes a lot of sense. You ever catch this Quap in an Atos, snowball follow-up into Walrus Punch, he's dead. Same thing with Void Spirit. You Yules him, Remnant him, one tag team around him, and he's just dead as well. Quap is not very survivable at this point. Sitting at 1100 health is nothing.
Yeah, that's really nothing. I mean, we've seen heroes way higher than that at this point in the game. Roll in, look for nothing to say. They got the Geomagnetic Grip at the same time with the Inkswell, but Yule's up into the air. Call down placed by Innocent. Sonic Wave comes in. Nothing to say. Ends up dying because they don't get the snowball around this Void Spirit, but they do get a trade on Ori. They'll look for more. They've got the shards, but the Swashbuckle away will keep LGD at bay.
Yeah, and that should be a mid tower as well for LGD. It was a good idea from VG. It's just they're so far ahead that these plays don't work out quite as easily anymore. Like, they get the mid trades.
It's gone. Like, there's...
They're going to
He's going to get it, but the timing's going to feel like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it's going to be a super hard fight. They have no ults at all available on Radiant. And they might just try to steal this. That's already gone. Did I say that? Oh no, he didn't roll in all the way. Slight misplay.
And now they've got the Aether Remnant around
Atos.
with the Rod of Atos, ult 11.
Easy.
He ends up dead. I mean, this is LGD probably looking the best they have so far.
Yeah, the problem for VG is they always trade one hero for one hero, but at the same time they're getting out-farmed. They're not getting any map control. And yeah, we can see it reflected in the net worth as well. 8k now. What they are now waiting for is just a troll BKB, and then they're going to take all outer towers and really just constrain them in their own part of the map. And they have to find a way to break out. PL went Manta first. He has no fightability at all right now. He just can't deal any damage. His items don't allow him to.
And you could tell the difference, right? He's got 8,500 net worth. He got a Yasha first. You've got a Battle Fury on this troll. He's at 12k net worth, and he feels way more active and way more available for LGD.
Yeah, it's just simply because of the heroes, really. Like, in a more even game, I could see him getting away with that Manta first, but because he was so far behind early, that you really just need the defusal, start fighting. But he's gonna get it soonish, another 2,000 net worth, then he'll have it, but it might be too late at that point. Troll pushing him bottom all the way. Probably just gonna assemble with his teammates shortly.
I want to see if that for sure ends up being a defusal.
It has to be. Like, no defusal means you can't ever fight this game. Mid lane, Gyrocopter caught out.
Snowball saves him for a second with a Walrus Punch. They've got the Soulbind onto two of these heroes with the roll coming in from ult 11. They get the kill on the Innocence, but trade PYW. It's another double damage on Nothing to Say. Rod of Atos through as well as the Sprout. They should be able to get a kill there on the ult 11. Eventually they will. Sonic Wave gets committed, but it doesn't turn into anything more than just damage done.
No, it had to be committed and to push the troll away from the support. He was running in on his Grimstroke. But again, there's a Sonic Wave expended for no kill.
Yeah.
We have seen it, I think, for the third time this game already, where it's like a more of a defensive Sonic Wave. And now there stands nothing between them and the bot tower. Can you say that? Now there stand a lot of heroes there.
Geomagnetic Grip, but the Walrus Punch comes in. That sound's going to wear off on Ame. He's going to start to be able to turn this around. Magnetize, Phantom's Embrace, that's out on a Jinkyu. Avoids that stroke of fate, and Vici make massive rotations. LGD, they want to go in on this. They want to play this aggressively. Vici, they rotate in, and, well, they're already looking to back away from this tower in a way that feels like the rotation's not really worth it.
Yeah, and Troll also finishes BKB now. There's no way to contain this guy. If he activates his BKB, he's the king of the game. You need to kite him. You cannot fight him, no matter who you have there. PL, 250 away from the Fusel Blade. That could be one of their timings. However, they are quite strong already on Dire. They have ways to deal with him now.
I don't think just that diffusal is enough for...
He will need a heart as well. But with this diffusal, you gotta try to make something happen, I feel like. Like, you can't just let this game get out of hand anymore.
Right.
Radiant's top tower is under
Troll
attack.
actually TP top and just starts pushing down that tower. Ame very split from his team here.
Force punch.
Chance for Radiant. There's no
Going
Troll.
into the Rolling Thunder. They've got the soul button on both supports here on the side of LGD, but the damage coming in of Faith Beyond is so much. PYW getting low. The Swashbuckler comes in. They'll get the finish on the DY trading Jinkyu. PYW trying to roll and hit onto the Nature's Prophet, but he doesn't land Assimilate, and the homing missile coming through on that Warrior. They might be able to continue to chase, but here comes Erica turning it around and getting a kill on a Faith Beyond. They look over at Innocence. PYW still getting involved with just a sliver of health, and Erica gets 2. He'll take out Innocence. They've got the silence on to this Void Spirit, and they should be able to finish him off. Ooh, does he have it? No, Sonic Wave is in from Ori, and that is 4 heroes gone on LGD. The second the Troll is away, well, Vici are here to play.
It is super well played by VG. Quite a big mistake by LGD there to just fight without their strongest hero. They knew that he TP top. They still chose to commit for that fight, and they got heavily punished. They kill 1 support, lose 4 heroes. That is exactly what this PL needs to do. He comes in late and destroys them from the backline. This is so easy. Like, you can see how much damage he deals.
The silence, long time, Soulbind comes in, and you see that Faith Beyond's doing a lot of damage. He feels pretty confident in the position he's in, but Erica just comes in and cleans him up. Now look at where he's at. Goes after Innocence for a second, takes out the homing missile that was going after Ori, and then Faith Beyond tries to TP out. There's no chance he could do that. And the fact that PYW's got the confidence to stay in and continue to make plays is why I think he's been one of the best supports in the DPC this region.
Yeah, PYW is... He's just super good. Like, there's nothing else you can say about him. But again, this Troll needs to start to convert his net worth into damage, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he TP top to farm more, while his team kind of got punished for it. Sure, you can say that the team shouldn't have stayed there as well, but they just need to play around the Troll, really.
If the team's going to stay there and you're not going to be there, that's a communication error, right?
It has to be, yeah. I was like, that fight was very unnecessary.
That was a 3
But at least we have a
phase
game on our
deficit.
hands now. Ish.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like Erica can make a move to be involved now.
Yeah, that diffuser blade, you can just see how much of a power spike it is on this Phantom Lancer hero. It just increases your damage by, like, I don't know, 200% probably. Such a good PL item. And he's going Butterfly hard. Probably gonna go hard first and then into Butterfly. And Troll is just going for Mjolnir as well. It's going full PL counter with Battle Fury as well as Mjolnir.
You've also got that Glepnir.
Yeah,
Hopefully that is enough if you're an LGD fan, but it's looking like Erica's slowly making his way back into this one. The Glepnir is finished.
He will need a BKB on his Nature's Prophet as well.
He does pick up the Reaver, so he's going hard first.
Yeah. Hard on PL is just so good. Like, this permanent health region throughout the entire fight is just so valuable. We have seen counters of PL just become unstoppable after the hard pickup. This game, though, they do have a lot of damage. So the hard shouldn't be as impactful as it has been in the past on some of the games that we have seen here. Now the smoke up again. But VG is very good at avoiding it. They're kind of outplaying them, pushing out lanes, making sure that they get more farm. It was a 10k, 11k gold. These
shards from Jinkyu right on the money.
Oh, they caught him, yeah.
They'll find DY, which will at least be 1 for LGD, but like you said, very well done by Vici to avoid this rotation altogether.
Yeah, they cut all the waves already, so there's no pressure incoming bottom. Instead, the top tower is getting pressured. Maybe they will force, you know, an ill-advised TP again. Because that's really what you have to do when you're behind. You force the enemy to make rotations that they don't want to do, and then you take the fight. Task to pink pop. He has a blink dagger.
Gleipnir on to Old
Task
11.
blink.
Snowball coming in. Old 11 trying to run, but it's not looking likely. A quick kill there for LGD.
Power of Gleipnir. Good item this game.
Yeah, it feels really strong, and I wonder what Prophet could he even still just go for the Orchid?
Nah, it's way too late for that. I would much rather see him go BKB and stand his ground and then just queue BKB up as well. Once they have the 3 BKBs on their cores, Void Spirit is also going for one, but it's still quite far away from it. They don't have any damage other than Quap ult that goes through BKB. Phantom Lancer, most of his damage comes from Diffuser Blade. BKB ignores that. But of course, once PL gets 1 or 2 more items, that's going to change. That's why we said this PL can win this game.
Right. Rolling PYW, but it's a miss. He's got the Ink Swell on him. Battle Trance and the BKB been popped by Ame going the other way, but the Sonic Wave hitting. They've got the kill on a Faith Beyond, so they end up making it a trade. They'll try to take DY's life, or he might leave him for dead, but the Soulbind holds him in place. DY looking like he might get away. Nothing to say, though. You can see he's ready to make a jump. Once this homie missile hits, he'll throw an Aether Remnant and then ultimately get the kill.
Anywhere you can go.
Yeah, they thought it was just an easy little pickoff. However, the Prophet did still die for 2 supports, so it's a somewhat even trade. Hard picked up on PL now. We'll see how much
to pull back.
The game.
I know the net worth went 10K to 7K back to 9K, but it still feels like Vici are finding an opportunity to try and use to come back in this game completely.
The longer the game goes, the less net worth advantage really means. So this 10K from 7 minutes ago is much more impactful than a 10K at this point. There's definitely a lot of ways to fight for this Radiant side now. They also have the Quap BKB finished. Plate Mail already picked up, so he's a lot more survivable. Gonna go into a Shiva's Guard next. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game from here. LG have made a couple of pretty sloppy mistakes, which allowed VG to capitalize on. And they're not back in the game just yet, but they're in a much better position.
Yeah, they're getting there, and it doesn't feel like LGD have put everything together just yet.
Yeah, and now Roshan is up. It's going to be the next point of contest between those 2 teams. Or what's the fancy word? Contention?
Yeah.
Because we want to teach all the youngsters some fancy English words as well.
You were teaching me about English earlier today.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Didn't go too well. But
I mean, you were right. I was wrong.
Radiant
it's okay, don't worry. Happens to everybody. I'm a man of many talents.
Smoked up. Trying to make something
I'm
happen.
surprised they went on that Elo. They were all still smoked. And nothing to say is like, yeah, you must be real. You had an ink spell on you. It was a cute play though by Radiant. Roshan is up. Starting to hit Roshan. It's gonna fall really fast. They have about 15-20 seconds. Rolling in on Gyrocopter.
They'll get the roll, they'll look for these kills, they'll get the kill on Innocence really quickly. The Sonic Wave coming through and hitting on Ami, pushing him away, but they've also got the shards right on Erica. Ooh, the Manta actually doesn't push him on the other side of the shards. They hit that shard as well as the Walrus Punch. Erica, though, Doppelganger, he'll get away for the moment.
Troll, no
and now
BKB.
Ame in a big amount of trouble. They'll get the kill on Ame, they'll take out Jinkyu, and this is 3 heroes gone on the side of LGD. And make it potentially a 4th. Mules up in the air, no Astral Step. So that is 4 dead.
Okay, they bought back on the Grimstroke, so it's not 4-0. But how did they crush that fight so hard? There was a big misusage of BKB from the Troll. It didn't even get his ult off either. Permanently locked down after his BKB by the Pango. Super just well played by VG. They kited them, we can see it here again. Fight started with Gyrocopter just getting obliterated. A lot of damage coming out on the VG side as well. But they just have no more BKBs to fight with on the Dire side. And after the BKB, Troll just really feels very weak. He used his BKB too early, a bit prematurely. Once the BKB ran out, he just died to the Pangolier roll.
Yeah, Old 11 did so much in that fight with the Rolling Thunder. Just basically controlling this Troll once that BKB was over. And that was such an early BKB usage, like you said. Like, it just...
He used it right away.
Uses it right away, gets pushed back via the Sonic Wave, so he's not doing anything with a big chunk of that timing on the BKB.
Yep. We have seen that at the Dire also. When they initiated on the Nature's Prophet, he instantly popped Battle Trance BKB to kill a support. Like, he needs to be very cautious how he uses BKB. It's his only defensive tool right now.
He wants that Mjolnir, and he'll need something to really rely on defensively, but...
Mjolnir is not that item to rely on defensively. Neither is Manta, really. Manta seems kind of... Yeah, I would have much rather liked to see Saint Jasha. The status resist is so important on a troll. I will see whether it, you know, it's gonna cost them even more.
Potentially, yeah.
Now it's scary time that PL already with a heart, no Aegis picked up as well. All he needs now is one damage item, which apparently is going to be the butterfly, and he's going to dish out so much damage. This Prophet can't play Dota anymore once he has this butterfly completed. Angry roll.
Looking again, and that will come through the lane. Old 11.
He's just gonna TP out probably. Or yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Blink TP.
But they caught him!
They caught him!
Too greedy with the TP.
Yeah,
he could have
seriously.
TP'd. Yeah. He could have just TP'd right away in the roll, but he didn't want to.
A little greedy from Old 11, and he gets caught because of it.
Yeah, gets punished. But at least a lot of space. Entire dire side is on their own half, so they won't really get any objective out of this.
It's power Gluttony here, though. Could
It
just
is.
throw it in the general direction you think he blinked in, and you caught him.
But at the same time, we see this Prophet is not as strong in the man fight as he used to be. Or rather as we see with the other item build. When you go this Orchid, BKB Mjolnir. Because he went for this more utility kind of route. Most of the damage at this point is really coming from the troll. That's why he has to be very, very careful with how he uses BKB. Post BKB, can get disarmed, can get stunned, can get uled. It's gonna be tough.
Radiant structures are
Lead
fortified.
now only 5k.
Radiant's
I've been
bottom
trying to go for this
tower is
bottom
under
tier 2 a
attack.
couple times, and LGD just haven't been able to secure it just yet.
Yeah, Void Spirit 30 gold away from a BKB. It's gonna be a big pickup for him. Gyrocopter living a dangerous life.
Troll is also level 25 soon.
Yeah, that will give him Battle Trance, Strong Dispel. Is there anything to Strong Dispel this game? I guess a couple of his stuns could be nice to Strong Dispel, so. Swap initiation.
Yeah, they're looking to see if they can find Ori here. Pop the BKB. Ooh, BKB popped by Ame going after PYW for a moment. He's actually not sure who he wants to go for. Magnetized Sonic Wave coming in. It's not the best Sonic Wave. The gem is going to be on the deck. They get the kill on the DY. They'll take out 2 heroes on the side of Vici as they're going to try and turn this one around. And this is a 3v5 as Erica trying to manplay. He does have that agent with the rolling thunder coming in and back and forth. Ame without the BKB getting bumped up into the air and in a lot of trouble. Out of mana now, and he might just go down and will. Ame gone. Ori drops it in as well. So 3 gone on the side of Vici. Erica trying to man fight this 1v4.
PL is unstoppable at this point.
Jinkyu, he falls. Now he goes over to another target, finding himself Faith Beyond. Is this real right now? Erica doing so much damage. Faith Beyond is gone.
There's more
They're not
targets
gonna
around.
stop. Nothing to say, trying to TP, and Innocence goes down, but nothing to say. The only one who's successful in TPing out.
No substance.
And that was a buyback by the Tusk Committed as well. But you could see, once the troll's dead, this PL, he was healing throughout this entire fight. People were hitting him, but he just doesn't care at all. This hard pickup is just so good on this hero. We've seen it time and time again. It just makes him so strong, so survivable in these fights.
Erica just was level 22, and we were talking about Troll getting level 25. From that fight, he gets 25.
Him, yeah.
And he's now surpassed him in experience. He'll soon get ahead in net worth.
And he has a butterfly now picked up as well. And again, this early BKB by Ame. He did a super early BKB once more. BKB runs out. Pangoli on top of him. He's done. He just
And then
can't
he
play
didn't
the
know who
fight
to go
anymore.
for.
Because he can't go for anyone anymore. He gets disarmed, he gets mana burn, suddenly his PL's on top of you. And his BKB is running lower and lower on duration. Now down to 7 seconds. Whew. I mean, at this point, really, PL is... He is the god of this game.
Yeah. I mean, take a look at the replay. We'll show it. They find Ori. The BKBs get popped. And look at this. Ame pops the BKB. Thinks about going for PYW. Turns towards Ori. Now back to PYW. He hasn't done any damage so far with the BKB duration.
Yeah, and they're just kiting him wonderfully. Once his BKB is down, we see the PL just goes on top of him. Pangolier helps him out. a couple of disarms, couple of stuns, and it's just so easy for the PL to kill this troll post BKB.
Yeah.
He has no survivability items other than BKB. No Satanic, no Saint Jasha to help him with the stun durations or anything. Yeah. He went way too all in into that PL kind of, like, I want to deal with you, kill you ASAP kind of mindset. But now he's stuck with a Mjolnir. Now he's stuck with a Battlefield Mjolnir. It's too much.
And just the fact that he was able to get not just Ame, but turns it into also getting Faith Beyond, turns it into also getting Innocence. Like that
the thing
was
is,
crazy.
Once Troll is dead, it's open field for PL. He can just pick who he wants to kill, and he will just kill them for free. They can't fight back. PL is only scared of Troll. Troll is gone, you don't care.
I don't even think he's scared of Troll.
He was literally just healing up. Did you see that team fight? Troll was dead, he was just healing up while getting hit.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And now what was once a 10K lead,
It's a 2K lead.
and realistically, it's just even.
Realistically, I think Vici's ahead by quite a bit at this point. Like, this PL just seems nigh unstoppable.
For my
They
coffers.
smoke up on LGD. Roche potentially up in a minute. So this could be a fight where LGD, if they were to win it, or really either side, get their hands on the Aegis afterwards.
Yeah. Phantom Lancer going to Skadi next. And so is Troll. They're finding the PL here. They're on top of him.
Kill though. They'll look over. They've got the silence. He pops the Mantis. He's trying to run the call down. He's not going to be enough damage, but they've got the Glenmere. They're going to kill Erica. They'll take on TY as well.
Damn.
2 heroes gone on the side of Vici. That is what they needed on LGD. And again, nothing to say with the double damage. That really has been on his side this game.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those. PL has buyback though. But you can see, if they get on top of him like that, the Troll destroys him. But he needs to make it happen during his BKB. And I want to see a bash on a Troll as well. I feel like the Skadi is not going to do much for you. You need a reliable way for yourself to lock people down if you're hitting.
Yeah.
You get the Abyssal Blade, you jump on him, then you use BKB Battle Trance, and you can actually kill him. Skadi won't help you do that.
Were we seeing... This is going to sound stupid. Were we seeing Trolls at one point going into the Swift Blink, or was that like...
Yeah, I mean, it's still
ultra
very
late
good.
game item?
It's still very, very good. But still, you need a bash on Troll at some point in this game. Because you can't hope that your teammates can always lock them down for you.
Right.
And now, tables have turned again. Now Troll's king of the game until PL is out there. He is going into a silver edge on PL.
Ooh.
I don't like that at all, actually. There's nothing really to break. Doesn't make much sense. Much rather, again, I think you just go Abyssal Blade. Item is meta for a reason, because it's very, very strong.
And I would say Vici get lucky here with the duration it's going to take for Roche to respawn. Another 2 minutes.
Yep. That will be the next point of contest again. This time with either a Refresher Shot or an Aghanim Scepter. Quite a lot of good Aghanim Scepter targets this game. It would be perfect for the Troll, really. Can dispel the Disarm all the time, the Diffusal slows, the Shadow Strikes. There's lots of things you can dispel.
Timeless Relic, Spell Prism, some big name tier 4s coming out.
Yeah.
Spell Prism for the Void Spirit's going to feel quite nice. This is a Tusk that's level 20. Maybe we see the level 25. Get
Spell
the,
Prism was actually picked up by Radiant, I believe. Or was it by Dire?
It was Dire
Dire
that's
picked up
going
Spell
to Void
Prism.
Spirit.
And Radiant picked up the Timeless Relic.
Yep.
Okay. Which is also an amazing item for Quad.
They're going to come over and they will get a quick kill on a DY. Just a Walrus Punch and a little bit more damage to finish.
He has buyback though, but no Grimstroke ult this time. Already spent that. Roshan up in 50 seconds. Again, this long respawn timer coming in handy for VG.
Yeah. This is going to be the point of contention for sure.
Yeah, it has to be. The Aegis Cheese plus one additional item is just too important at this point of the game. We can see both carries. Once PL is dead, Dire just wins. Once Troll is dead, Raiden just wins, so the carry really needs an Aegis.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Extra step.
Angle roll, just faked, okay. You baited me as well. I hate it when they cancel so late, you know? It actually sounds like it's going through. Screw you. I'll do that next time to you in a pub game too.
As long as you get the timing right and you don't let it go off.
Yeah, that would be pretty embarrassing.
Faith Beyond taking an outpost, but 50 seconds to get it back.
But if they commit a lot of resources there, they could just try to sneak a really fast Roche. Maybe that's the plan here. Prophet, out of position. He has been caught.
Yeah, he didn't TP away. He's got the BKB.
But they're going into Roche now.
Sprout, and yeah, exactly what they wanted. They're going to take some time here trying to kill Faith Beyond. And now they've got
what an outplay! What an outplay! They're just getting a free Roche now.
Faith Beyond giving up his life for the greater good. And there is...
It's a refresher shard.
Yeah, no way that they're coming in and getting this Aegis.
You have been debated. And they actually just... They didn't just bite it, you know, they like swallowed the whole thing. They're like, yeah, we're gonna all go on you. You're gonna use your BKB. Why didn't you TP out with your BKB, I wonder? Oh yeah, they're doing Roche. He could have easily lived there if he wanted to. Just BKB TP, but he just wanted to make space for that Roshan. We spoke about how important it is.
Yeah.
And this is a really big advantage now for the Dire team. Leveler now also picked up on Troll. Woo!
He's got the Leveler. He's also holding onto the Elven Tunic, going into the Ags, because that last Roche was Refresher Shard. You know, this is been, I would say, good play from LGD to not just tilt out.
For sure, for sure. Like, they made a lot of very bad mistakes this game, but now they're back in the driver's seat, got the composure, still playing good Dota. But they need to do something with this Aegis. Like, don't just sit back and farm with it. Try to pressure the base at least a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So
Prophet up in 10.
I wonder if they wait for the Prophet. Maybe they wait for this Ags.
Pangolier, level 25 now as well. Almost Abyssal play completed on him. It's going to be a huge pickup as well. I'm still not sure why PL is going for the Silver Edge. Like, it's just not a great item this game.
Yeah, interesting. Since
it might save him once or twice, because, of course, having reveal in every fight is not easy. They do have a gem on a Gyrocopter, though. But yeah, overall, a couple more better items, I feel like.
Does he go for it because he knows Old 11's going for an Abyssal himself? But multiple Abyssals feel fine. Like, it's not...
They do feel fine, yeah. It's not like 2 Radiants.
Yeah.
Like, even an MKB against this Troll could be really good. So you can just hit through the blinding axis. We'll see.
Yeah,
maybe he gets like a good pick-off with it. But the thing is, even with that item, you can't really get a pick-off because you don't have the Abyssal Blade.
Right.
So it's like, usually you have either both, or you don't build Shadow Blade at all.
Troll will have this Ags.
We'll see if he buys out or not. It's a bit risky.
He does have Aegis, so he might risk it.
No. He will need another 1600 gold anyways for the Blessing recipe.
Yeah, I guess you'd probably want to wait for that, right?
Yeah.
Because there's nothing here you
have no slot.
Are replacing unless you...
Replace your boots, I mean, which you already did. But then after Aegis, you do need your boots still. Otherwise, as Troll, you're just too slow. He's just running uphill blind.
Yeah, going in and looking for this. The Soulbind comes through. They're going to have the Phantom's Embrace on both the Gyrocopter as well as Ame. Rolling Thunder comes in from Old 11. A lot more patience here from Ame to pop that BKB. The Walrus punches in onto this Earth Spirit. The Sonic Wave comes through with the BKB in the battle. Trans speed caught by Ame. Now looking to go in deep, but Faith Beyond standing his ground with his BKB. They got the kill into PYW, but he's going to buy back. Old 11 goes down. Faith Beyond gets the kill from the high ground, and now they're right on top of Ame. They've hexed him up. They've silenced him as well. He can't do anything as a pig that's silenced, and he's going to lose that Aegis. LGD looking for an opportunity to come in, Gleipnir, and now they've got the BKB once again, but the Abyssal Blade gets used onto Jinkyu. Oh, stunned up, and Ame having a little bit of a struggle trying to get out of this. Goes to the Battle Trance once again, looks over at Erica, who will use that Doppelganger. There's nobody here with him, and he's getting kited like you said. They've got themselves the Hex once again. They get the second kill onto Ame. Take him out, gone for 100 seconds. Luckily, he didn't buy out on that Ags because he's got buyback available, which is going to be very important as Vici move forward and try to take a tier 2 and potentially go to the high ground.
Oh, probably sounds like a broken record at this point, but again, he runs up fast, BKB ult both together. He just hits PL illusions. Like, unless you can really stick on a target, you're not allowed to ult this game. Because PL illusions have been his bane for like the last 5 fights.
Yeah.
Every time he keeps hitting those PL illusions, He can't stick on a single hero.
Has fallen.
It is so difficult for him to do any damage. I think last fight, even though it looked really scary, he dealt like 1,000 damage in total because he was just hitting illusions. Which of course is not his fault. His ult makes him hit those illusions. But you gotta be careful how you use it. Prophet cut the mid wave at least, so there's gonna be back to protection. Setting in right now. Well done by the Prophet. That means no buybacks will need to be expended. It's just like the way these last team fights all look, like you wouldn't even expect LGD to be ahead, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just so one-sided, these fights.
Feels like Vici just has the control, and PL.
Although they did have to buyback on Pango and Earth Spirit, there was Aegis Cheese Refresher Shot fight.
And it wasn't enough.
It was not enough at all.
And now instead of that Ags, they're going to go to the Swift Blink on Troll, which I think is kind of being built under the assumption that they're going to take the next Roche.
He needs the Swift Blink either way, just to get himself into a better position. But again, like this lack of Basha is really evident. He cannot stick on targets. They just kite him so hard. I'm really curious as to why he's not using or trying to buy a Basher. Very curious. But maybe I'll never know.
You'll have to ask later. What was the mindset?
Nature's Prophet, now Hex completed.
Yeah, he needs that desperately, because that was big in shutting down Ame. Like, they could use that the same way.
Yeah, the problem is just it's a lot easier to kite Troll than it is to kite a PL.
Even kiting just the Quap is going to be difficult now that he's got that level 25 spell block.
Yeah, and now Shiva's got as well picked up. His Quap is getting quite big herself. Even Pangoli is pretty damn big as well. And he's also going into a heart. Just tanking up more.
Maybe that 25 for Void Spirit ends up being a big one.
Now, Vici just figured out how to play this game. If you don't die, you don't lose. So they're all going hearts.
If you can't die, you can't lose.
Yeah, it's a good mindset.
I'd really
Smoke
like
up.
to see them get nothing to say to 25. I think that Dissimulate stun might be massive in these fights.
The Earth Spirit has no buyback if he dies here.
Yeah, he's caught, he's silenced, and will pop a BKB. That'll allow him to roll. They got the soul bind on
BKB again.
This Void Spirit as well as the Troll. They're going to pop the BKB on Ori. And Sonic Wave Ame, he is just controlled,
Snowball!
kited, and potentially killed with the Snowball. Saved against the Battle Trance off. The Rolling Thunder comes in again. Can he get any health back from this? They will buy back on the Grimstroke. Ame eventually will fall, and he is gone for another 99 seconds. Old 11, he drops. So does PYW. We've got two heroes without buyback. Ori focusing on getting the kill on a Jinkyu, who will extend his life with the
Troll
Snowball.
buyback.
And now they've bought back on the Troll. There's a win condition here for Vici. If they're able to kill off Ame once again, nothing to say though. Yule's up into the air. Erica trying to go in with this. They've got McGuire on him. This might be in too far for Boyoyo as they find the kill on a Faith Beyond as well as Jinkyu. But the Aether Remnant lands and Erica's still able to run away.
He's just healing.
He's healing, but the
Troll on top
damage
of
in
him.
from Ame. Finally the
Ooh.
finish. They will take him out, but he has buyback, and that's the difference now between him and Ame.
However, Earth Spirit as well as Pangoli do not have buyback. They can force something here. If PL bites back, they catch him one more time. They do have the damage to bring him down. Game is suddenly over.
Yeah.
So they need to force the issue right now. They cannot let this PL get away with not having to use buyback. Otherwise, they're in really a lot of trouble. They just have Ame's number, man. Like, every fight is getting kited to oblivion. He just deals no damage, even though he has so much at his disposal.
Just can't
He's just
use
playing
it.
this so well.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Satanic for
surprised they
Faith
managed to
Beyond.
kill the PL at the end there. It was very close.
He was healing.
Yeah.
Hex from a distance coming in from the Queen of Pain.
They know they have no buybacks.
Radiant structures are
They see if they're just satisfied with getting two sides. Probably are, because then you can wait for your own buyback cooldowns. I'm actually very scared. There's only two heroes alive. I think you need to commit for some Rex here.
Try to force the buyback, try to do something here to
And get bottom as well.
make Erica use that buyback. Otherwise, I would say even with the racks going down, you feel that advantage.
He's getting spammed down quite low here. Nothing to say.
Radiant's bottom
Just trying to make sure that Vici are forced to sit a little further back, but Ame, you can see how scared
Nothing to
he
say in
is.
trouble.
And now nothing to say. He gets silenced. He with the Sonic Wave, they'll get the kill. He's got buyback, but man, that
Everyone
is
out,
one you
everyone out.
don't want to give up.
Ooh, just makes it out in the nick of time. There is 2 barracks down. Void Spirit has buyback still. So if they can just somehow weather the storm until Troll has his buyback again. Roshan is up in 20 seconds, so that might not be an option. This next Roshan is going to have everything.
Ooh, E-Blade.
Refresher, Axe, Aegis Cheese. E-Blade picked up just to help people against the Troll. They just want to kite him.
And then Ags being built for Grimstroke.
Yeah. Potentially, they might even give the Axe to the Grimstroke if they get the Roche.
They've got a silence out. Innocence running. Rolling Thunder coming in
Running
from
fast.
11. And I think this Rolling Thunder is pretty crucial to taking this Roche for Vici. Void Spirit finally buys back, and PYW rolling in. He's got the Geomagnetic Grip that's going to silence up Faith Beyond, but now they're looking to turn this fight around and say, get the Kona, or he's going to buy back immediately with a rollout from PYW. They look over to Old 11. He's rolled up and trying to get away from the side of LGD.
Ame used BKB Battle Trance again already. Now he has nothing as a disposal.
Which means he is very kiteable.
It could be a free Roche now, because he has no BKB and no Battle Trance.
And they know it. They've got double damage on Ori, and I think this is just Roche for them.
They cannot fight this. Like, Ame is very trigger happy.
For my coffin.
And that is Refresher, Aegis, Cheese, again. Who took up the Aghanim's? Grimstroke did.
Yeah.
Now,
Wow.
that's gonna be a very painful Troll illusion.
Might just clean up the entire team.
Yes, this Troll has a lot of damage. Whew. Now, there's even more winning conditions for this Radiant team. Aegis picked up on
Radiant's
Quap.
bottom barracks are under attack.
So, although you don't have that buyback, you have 2 lives to work with. And I think if you're LGD, you just kind of want to wait out that Aegis, wait for your Troll's buyback.
If you can.
Even Prophet is now just going for Aghanim to split push. It makes a lot of sense. He went for the cooldown reduction talent as well, so his ult now has 48 seconds cooldown, and it's just gonna push the entire map.
Tusk goes level 25, 12% chance to Walrus Sponge.
And he's going Moonshot.
And he's going Moonshard. Yeah, he's going the full Mike Tyson.
There's a potential to never drop on the floor again. I've seen it happen. They just stay in the air.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of damage. How much is the crit damage? 430%, I believe.
Having that knockout power.
Yeah, 430% crit. If you do it with a tag team, he's going to crit for a good 1400. So he can take out the support by himself. But will he ever get to the Moonshot? I doubt it. It's wishful thinking.
Nice.
And you never know.
Already got enough for one.
Yeah, but he will also have to buy back soon, because he's going to die.
That is true.
So VG is now just trying to push out lanes, but his Nature's Prophet is doing a very good job at pushing out these lanes. The big trees pushing in top, the small trees pushing in bottom.
This could be
Trees everywhere.
something that extends the game to Tier 5 region.
It could. Tier 5s, potentially good ones. What do we have here? Ballista, decent for Dire, not that good for Radiant.
Radiant are set.
Of course, Fallen Sky, most broken one. Is good on any hero. Giant's Ring, potentially.
Throw
Not
that
gets
on the
brought
Tusk.
anymore.
They've actually given the Tusk the leveling. They want him attacking as fast as possible.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
See if that does anything or not. VG has a very hard time right now pushing out these lanes. They just Prophet ult every time it's up. It's just they also gave him the Spell Prism away from the Void Spirit just so he can ult more.
Faith Beyond in the base. Out of the base.
I need some help here with math.
Okay, that's
So Wrath of
not my strong
Nature,
suit.
Axe, right? It says it's go from 85 to 60.
Yeah.
He has a Spell Prism and a 20% cooldown talent. Why does it say 49.2 seconds? That's not right at all.
So 20% off 60.
It's already 12, so it should be 48 or less. But it says 49.2. Maybe it's just not updated properly.
Or it's bugged?
I think it's bugged. This is like pre-Aghanim's cooldown, I think.
Well, let's see when he uses it, what it says.
Yeah, I think it should be about like 30 something. 33, 34, 37? Something like that. Let's see it. 15 seconds. He's going to use it.
Should be like 39, I think.
That makes more sense, yeah. Closer to 40. Let's see if he's going to use it. Use it right now. 2, 1. No, don't TP. Okay.
40 seconds, yeah. So
39 point something.
Yeah.
I thought it was just bugged.
All right.
Free
So
game.
Not a lot of weight on that Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, and you can just see all the silence are pushed in immediately again.
Warriors of the wood.
Look at Faith Beyond. Just no TP cooldown. Going
I'm surprised he
all the way
didn't
over
steal
the
the
map.
3 damage. If he's going for this kind of build.
Well, he's going to get level 30 soon.
Is he though? Like this level 29 to 30 takes a while. Oh my god, he's just being up those cliffs. He's the maniac. It's so scary.
Gotta have Faith Beyond camp.
So this is the big advantage. Why I said they needed to take those 2 regs. Now with the Nature's Prophet, it's just so hard to commit to any lane. Because if you commit to bot lane, you just push in bottom and middle and top.
Right.
And you can still cut bottom wave. It is very difficult now to get these lanes in ever. Even though they're having an 11k gold lead, they can't make use of it at all. Troll, buyback available. Aegis running out very shortly.
Void Spirit's buyback is available in 2 minutes. And you've got 2 minutes for Queen of Pain as well. So I think both teams might wait for that. But at that point, maybe they even wait for tier 5s.
It's possible.
Although when you wait for tier 5s and you have an advantage like this, that's something you don't want to do, right? Because it feels like tier 5s put chaos into the game where the net worth just doesn't matter.
The thing is, if you can get tier 5s and keep the enemy in base so they can, that's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
However, this Prophet is probably just going to TP to the enemy triangle, get it from there. So,
Ship them back.
yeah, they're both going to have access to them. And they're smoking up on Dire here, recognizing that Aegis ran out as well, having all the important buybacks.
Could even get to a 5th Roche.
Potentially. Unfortunately, he doesn't drop anything else after the 4th one.
Aegis level 2.
Cheese level 5, permanent. 5,000.
Permanent regen.
Permanent
Permanent
5,000.
cheese. Wow. That's a lot of HP.
It is.
That must be an ancient cheese. Something that's aged.
Very aged.
A nice
But let's not talk more about aging.
halloumi.
So old.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, B-Cup is actually older than me.
So how does that make me feel? Even older?
You look younger.
Blessed.
Yeah. Okay, now they're trying to kind of starting top tower here. At this point, late game Dota, there's so much damage on both teams. It really just depends on like one hex on the PL could just kill him, one hex on the troll could kill him. It just comes down to like really millisecond decision making.
Right.
Which is why we hate and love late game Dota.
I love it.
Well, I hate playing it.
Yeah, I love watching.
Especially in these tournaments, it's so tense. You know anything just kills you. Like this Grimstroke illusion could kill the troll.
It's crazy because LGD have been in this position so many times just this season alone. I mean, they played Aster in a situation like this, obviously a lot more chaotic with the Divine Rapiers. But like, that's the difference between LGD being in a more secure spot in the DPC is a lot of these game 3s, obviously this is a game 1, or these longer games that have made their way into LGD series.
It's scary though, because LGD is usually with the team leading quite a bit in those games, but they struggle with the mid-late game just ending the game, you know? We have seen it also this game. Couple of questionable decisions, and suddenly, VG is the one in the driver's seat. Even though you had all the pieces you needed.
A minute and a half to go for tier 5s.
Yep, now PL, all that he can buy is an Aghanim Scepter, another smoke up. We have seen like 4 smokes in the last 2 minutes. Just
they haven't done anything
trying to find anyone by himself. However, Gyrocopter, possibly. Nothing to say. God, this is pretty tense.
This is an interesting setup. I mean, nothing to say. Are in an odd spot. They do have vision on 2 other heroes. Wrath of Nature gets used. You know, push through bottom. They're trying to push mid and push bottom. finally have an opportunity to go into the high ground.
Troll got silenced up.
They use that Dark Portrait, but they sprout it. Okay.
It's
So
also
they've
a
dealt
range
with it.
from. Yeah. A range from Dark Portrait is not as scary. But you can see this Dark Portrait dies really fast too.
Well, they were able to kite it, and that wasn't in a chaotic. I think in a chaotic fight, it's certainly not as easy to put the focus on it, right?
Definitely not easy, but I think you have to. It just does too much damage otherwise. Now this gyrocopter. I don't know, like, this is where I'm like, I'd rather have this Grimstroke, you know?
Yeah. Man. Tier 5s are going to come around the time that there is
Profit will cut out.
Yeah, they're going to find themselves face beyond, but they've got the snowball to try and make the save with the BKB Popeye Ori. They'll go after as the Rolling Thunder hits on nothing to say. They'll use that Walrus Punch. PYW taking a lot of damage with BKB Popeye on his end. Now the Rolling Thunder comes in, or the roll in onto this Nature's Prophet. Gleipnir hits onto Puyoyo as they get the kill on the Innocent. Stand up trading for PYW, and now they look over as the Abyssal Blade is used onto the Void Spirit. Nothing to say, in a little bit of trouble. He'll use that Astral Step to get some distance between him and the side of Vici. Ami goes in with a Battle Trance as well as BKB. The Snowball comes in. On 11, he's faster than the Snowball, rolling away, and now they get the kill on the face beyond. They end up losing Ori with the buyback being used by the Earth Spirit as well as this Queen of Pain, but they look over, they find the Tusk. Jinkyu unable to be Mike Tuskin as they'll go through. They've got the Sprout, they've got the Silence out onto this Pangolier. They get the kill on PYW who just fought back. He's going to be dead for 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Erica going in, and they've got the Rolling Thunder once again from Old 11, bouncing these heroes around. Ami trying to survive. The Snowball comes out.
Get in
Puyoyo
trouble!
out of trouble. He gets hit by the Hex. He's silenced up.
100 health, 50.
They get the kill onto this Phantom Lancer. He's got buyback going in once again. Ori gone for the second time, but Ame falls. Buyback's being used by the Void Spirit as well as Control. They look over this Pangolier. He's up into the air with the Yules. They got the gem kill on the Courier, so it's on the deck once again.
Old
But 3
11
heroes,
dead.
4 heroes around on Old 11. They get the kill there. He's got buyback. Puyoyo does not want to make a move here. A back and forth fight with buybacks used around the horn. And it's still now an opportunity for LGD
Roshan
to take
up.
Roche and get tier 5s before Vici really have a chance.
I think what they want to do, Roshan straight end the game. They have about 80 seconds left on the Earth Spirit, no buyback, Quap, no buyback for 90. Angry buying back straight away. Might as well use the cooldown. He knows he has to expend it eventually. Oh, it's going to be a very intense next minute here. They might potentially be able to end this game. Troll does a lot of damage. BKB, Troll ult off cooldown.
And he's got the Ags now.
Ooh.
He's got the Ags. He finally picks it up from that 5th Roche. Refresher
Are they going
is
for the Megas?
on the Void Spirit, and they're going to go through the top lane to try and get this done. They've got a tier 2 to get through, and then a tier 3 with Rax.
I don't know if going for the Megas is the right call. I
They
guess
don't
it's a
get
bit
Megas.
risky.
They still have the range barracks down bottom.
They can
need to
definitely get
that
Megas
tier.
if they wanted to, but perhaps it's a better decision. Oh,
Ooh, they'll
Troll.
move in. They've got themselves the Abyssal Blade with the Silence, but on the backlines they'll go after G1.
Troll
They've got
used
themselves
BKB
the
ult.
Walrus Punch. They're going to use the Battle Trance as well as the BKB, but Ame is going to have the damage to get the kill here on anybody. They look over as Jinkyu's also popped the BKB. They find themselves Old 11.
Old 11,
who's in
they
a
can't
lot of
die.
trouble. The Walrus Punch is coming in.
Ooh.
12% is going to be 100%. They look over. They will find the kill on Old 11. They'll take the Melee Racks up towards top, but can Puyoyo do this alone? The Walrus Punch is out once again. This is Puyoyo in a lot of trouble. They finally have the Mega Creeps, but they can. Walrus Punch. He is
100 health
becoming
dead.
Mike Tuskin, and they will get the kill on the Puyoyo. They will find themselves a
And this time
victory
they
here.
win.
LGD from 10K to a 12K deficit back into the lead with a victory here in game number 1. Wow. LGD. I mean, they needed one perfect fight. They find it top. They come in through the top lane and they win.
Late game Dota, baby.
Chaotic.
Late game Dota. Troll just
That was amazing.
the last fight was actually insane. Like, Troll just stuck on 2 heroes. He killed them in like 1 second. There's just
Yeah.
too much damage coming out. They bought back, TP'd back in without BKBs, get hexed one more time. They just die so damn fast. I don't actually know how they won that last fight so convincingly. I thought they had a little bit of an edge on Vici. But yeah, LGD pulling it out this time, finally.
Yeah.
Usually in those late game scenarios, they struggle a little bit.
Yeah, and they have finally put it together. This is a big victory, which probably gives them a little bit of excitement and momentum coming into game 2.
It was, like, this game was as close as I had hoped it to be.
Yeah.
Like, the skill level is just, you know, they're neck and neck.
Yeah, and I mean, LGD are in a do or die situation here. It feels a really exciting. Game 2 is going to be a fun one. To take it away and break down a little bit more, we've got the panel. Back over to you guys.
Thank you very much, B-Cup and Black. Yes, a thrilling game 1 to get this series started. Guys, how did they do it? LGD take the first match.
Man, I just wanted to say one thing. In that end game, in the end scenario, the amount of work that Tusk is allowed to do and able to do, it's insane. Zinkyu, his stonks just rising and rising in my eyes at least. That last, all these fights, whatever, late game is late game, it's what decided the game. He goes in, rolls in, saves the first target that's initiated on, interrupts like 2 BKBs with Roller Sponge, like, just so much work, so many saves, so many interrupts from Tusk. I believe he actually made that last fight happen for them.
There were so many catches as well, like finding the kills onto the PL at the end, obviously the biggest one, and the Queen of Pain, you know, massive kills he's setting up for his team. But, Lacoste, I want to ask you, like, this didn't look like a game where we were saying that this PL is going to be able to do that much. How did they counter him? Sorry, we were saying that this PL is going to be able to do a lot.
Yeah.
How did they counter him in this late game scenario?
Like, in the end, I don't think it's allowed to go for a Silver Edge as a, you know, fifth item while he still had the power treads on. Like, that should have been Abyssal Blade, in my opinion, just to be able to deal with the troll, deal with those like BKBs on Nature's Prophet as well. Just lock down the targets, keep fighting. There are no abilities in this game that he can break other than Troll's passive, like, which you still get the stacks if you have a couple of stacks on. Like, you do not nullify those stacks. So I'm not sure like what the idea behind the Silver Edge was. You don't have like these saving supports that you can cut into backline like Oracle, find him, get an instant kill. Like, if it was any different item other than that, let's say
this
like
is the first time he used it and nothing really happened. He did buy the Abyssal in the end, right?
Sure, but
it doesn't. One thing that you did say is he doesn't have any saving supports on the enemy side, but also not on his side. So maybe his... I'm not, by the way, justifying it. I'm just saying maybe his reasoning is, okay, this will give me a little bit more survivability.
Any of the top tier items there could have made a difference, like possibly like a Bloodthorn, to just be able to insta-lock down someone, clean them up, extra silence, those crits coming out from the illusions, could make hell of a lot of a difference. But yeah, like I was just sitting in the green room thinking about like what's going on with the Silver Edge. But on the other side, 11, man, he had an extremely good game on this Spangolier. This just shows like the strength of the hero, what hero can do. He was pretty much single-handedly keeping them in the game with his role, with the bounces, stun lock, and of course the lucky shot. Like, it's just insane to think like what Pango can do if he's not playing into any kind of counters and no BKB piercing abilities.
I also expected way more from the Grimstroke and the Dark Portrait. It was fine, but it wasn't truly game-changing. Just gets kited, killed off. And this last fight, really, it's so hectic. At one point, you can't even follow everything that's happening. I just focused on that task and saw just how much work he was able to accomplish. And he actually was the one that saved the fight with that first snowball save.
Yeah, he was. So many turnarounds. I mean, really a thrilling game to start this series off, and ending with only a 1% gold difference between the two teams and a 2% XP difference between the two teams at the end. They're really showing just how close this game really was. But yeah, I mean, stand-up performers, obviously, Old 11 on the side of Vici Gaming,
yeah, even
and
though like
Shinky on the side of LGD.
Even though they lost, like 11 had an extremely good performance, like even PYW on the Earth Spirit on the other side, like Q, he's been very innovative with the item build. When the Earthshaker Shard was not nerfed, when it was like S tier, he was the one going like Brown Boots, Blink Dagger into Octarine Core and the Shard, of course, to lower the cooldown. I also remember one of the games when Tiny was really popular as a position 4, when he also bought the Octarine Core, and now with the innovative build, going for Tusk level 25 Talent Roller Sponge chance, he actually bought the Moon Shard just to have even more attack speed to deal with the BKBs.
I have to say as well that I'm a little bit more convinced by this Gyrocopter position 5. Later on in the game perhaps didn't do as much work, but man, early and mid-game it felt, I'm not sure if they just fell into this gyro trap as like, okay, it's a position 5 gyro, he doesn't do a lot. He does a ton. Every single early game to mid-game fight was, they initiate on the gyro, he brings 2-3 heroes to 50% HP and then they fight
That's
afterwards.
his job. Like, he's like, guys, I'm fine with that. Also, you need to be very careful playing into gyro as a 4/5 as a hero, where he wants to isolate you, to stay away from the creeps, to get the full potential from the rocket barrage, and like fighting near the runes is not something you want to do against the gyrocopter.
Feels like if you're a 4 and you can somehow get tanky enough and buy a blade mail, this hero would be even more ridiculous.
Not really.
Just seeing these
Yeah,
fights.
blade mail gives you like false sense of how tanky you are, because like you need a real item
what
to
I'm
be
saying
tanky.
is, if you can get that tanky, and it's not that hard in the current meta, it's literally one neutral item, one bracer, and that item. I'm not saying it's the best one, but there are some experiments open here.
All right, we'll let you experiment in your pub games with that one. Sorry if you come into contact with Lizard's pub games this evening, because that might not be fun, but maybe he's onto something. Who knows? The guy is very smart. Smarter than he lets on sometimes. But with that game one under our belts, we of course have ourselves an MVP. And for this game, it is going to be Faith Beyond who will be our MVP for this game number 1, playing in the offlane and doing a tremendous job off it.
I loved his itemization in this game, you know, getting that Witchblade, going for Gleipnir. He went for a similar item build in FDC tournament the other day that I mentioned. So, yeah, like they were very vulnerable to root mechanics. Pango does not like to play into Queen of Pain, Phantom Lancer on top of that, like a great item choice. It gives you like more wave clear and just overall gameplay, like I think it was on point, like his rotations, but mostly like itemization could backfire, like if you, like Black was talking about it, you know, him getting an early Orchid against all of these maneuverable heroes, which you kind of ruin early on, but still, like I think this Gleipnir really paid off.
It's the build-up. It's the build-up of Gleipnir that actually makes it viable. For the thing is, most of us were saying, yeah, Weaver, Gleipnir, Nature's Prophet Gleipnir doesn't feel that great, Arc Warden as well, but the build-up of the item on the offlane position is really what makes it valuable, as it tanks you up. You have 2 crowns that you can buy individually for nothing, really, for 450. So it just makes you have a very linear power spike, which is...
Yeah, certainly looked good this game as he takes the MVP on the Nature's Prophet for Faith Beyond. And, of course, LGD taking the first victory here. Can Vici Gaming come back? Well, they can, but will they? Well, you have to find out. We're going to throw it over to a break first, after which we shall be back with game number 2 of the series here at the DPC Chinese region, brought to you by Perfect World. Hello and welcome back to the Dota Pro Circuit, where we're here in the Chinese region, brought to you by Perfect World, jumping into game number 2 of LGD versus Vici Gaming. Game number 1, it went a long time, bit of a marathon. LGD kind of ahead most of the time, and in the end they were the ones able to close it out despite the PL problems. They managed to solve that problem, and they take game 1. Game number 2, what are we expecting?
Something similar, perhaps. Both of these teams in the first game had their full comfort zone. They picked out their best, but the carry versus carry matchup was slightly favored for PSG.LGD, and they made it work. So maybe this time around they'll switch that thing around, maybe try and get a more favorable matchup for them. If there's a troll, perhaps get that Weaver a little bit earlier. We'll see.
We'll see. So what are you thinking is going to happen in this draft?
In this draft, like Vici is just doing, you know, the pretty standard stuff. They're not, once again, flexing any heroes, while PSG.LGD opening up with, I'm gonna say, weird stuff, something that they've done before, but something that other teams are not doing that much, you know, being able to, like, one of the reasons why they open up with Puck so much, because, like, it gets flexed to position 4, off lane, position 5. If it's not a good matchup on the mid, then, like, PSG's really good at that, what they're doing. Vici Gaming on the other side, they just like stick with what they know. They know like which roles heroes are going to be playing. But yeah, expecting a similar kind of a game. I just want to, you know, see a good Dota, and this one was it.
Expecting some Nature's Prophet or Viper again from Fate Beyond, and Old 11 again on the Pango. These two guys on the offlane have literally played the same heroes in the last like 7 games. It's there's a 3 hero pool, more or less. Pango, Nature's Prophet, Viper. Very interested in some of those funkier bans, Alchemist, perhaps the techies as well that we have seen banned out. You never know. It's a possibility.
That's a fear of playing against LGD, though, and I really do think, like, you know, as we mentioned in the first panel segment, this fluidity in their draft is what gives them the edge sometimes. And this game, I think that really came into effect. You know, they're playing with the gyrocopter. It's something interesting. It's something different. It's something they were happy to first pick. And this hero worked super well for them in the game. And if your first pick hero is having a high impact in the game and basically winning you lanes, that's a huge problem, which I think Vici Gaming are going to address here in this second game draft. Maybe they ban it, maybe they bring a new idea on how to counter it.
Yeah, like Gyro is a strong opener. I think we're going to see much more of this hero during the major. Has a ton of potential on position 4 and 5, which we already talked about. One way to like deal with that is have some kind of summon so that the damage is spread out, at least in the laning stage.
Some Beastmasters on offlane may be coming out, something a little bit different, but I don't think you can... we'll see, but in my opinion, you can't afford to ban out a position 5 Gyro.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, you know, the hero is super strong, but...
Of course.
Definitely, like, even worth first picking. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
We have seen some weirder bans in the Chinese region. Alchemist is... Definitely, yeah. With this hero, we don't really talk a lot about, but it's expected to be banned because it makes the game completely different. PSG.LGD, also, they don't really differ a lot with their bans. Shadow Shaman, once again. You're thinking about Phoenix for Vici Gaming. You're thinking about Grimstroke, Earth Spirit as well that are still in the pool. All these first picks. Pango as well, still there. There's just a variety of heroes that they value highly and that they can first pick here.
To go back to the previous game, like Grimstroke Aghanim Scepter is one of the better ones for sure, but we didn't really feel the influence of it because he gets sprouted, and that's a big problem. Like all these other heroes can get out, like even with the Quelling Blade you can't get out because the sprout is upgraded, and then they just like focus you down, which is really like... That illusion is super strong because it deals like 150 damage, and but it receives like 350% of the damage. So with the right clicks, you can just bring it down, and it was so easy with the Sprout. Similar opening. You know.
Same openings, really, right? Like, and now Vici Gaming, will they go for the Grimstroke, the Earth Spirit once again?
Yeah, I believe they picked Earth Spirit second last game.
And then afterwards Grimstroke.
Yeah, like a third pick Grim.
There are also some heroes that have been banned out that they usually pick with Pango that were banned out by PSG.LGD. In the last game, you saw the Raid Kings, the Weavers as well.
As PSG.LGD, I want to see BKB piercing ability that can lock down Pango. pretty much it was 11 show, getting him through the mid game, transition that into late game. So like possibly Beastmaster. I think Beastmaster is the pick here against the Phoenix. You get the attack speed. You have BKB piercing ability against Bango's roll.
Yeah, it gives them the two things they really want versus this opening.
Yeah, I mentioned it for both sides, even like versus that gyro and his spread. Nature's Prophet maybe for Vici Gaming, but I think whenever they're playing this Pango, it's on the offlane exclusively on all 11, and this Phoenix is almost always position 5 for them. It's also a combination of heroes they play very often, but Weaver, and another one that just gives you the ability to take down the egg a little bit easier, and overall, in my opinion, undervalued hero. You can see that Weavers are being picked up. You can see that recently they have been picked a little bit more, but for the majority of the season, he wasn't touched that much across all regions.
Like that was I think that's the hottest pick in China in the last month as a carry hero. Like we've seen it being flexed. Weaver, yeah.
All right.
We've seen a bit of it.
We see a lot of
it's
bans.
been banned a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but that
I
means,
mean,
you know, contested as well.
It came back as an answer to Troll more than anything else. We've seen it flex to offlane even. We haven't seen it picked as much, not nearly as much as Raid King and other carries, PL, Troll that are picked. Those three are pretty much your top tier picks. Weaver is coming as an answer, but in my opinion, it's not only an answer, it's a very strong hero in almost any scenario. That's the point, really. Void Spirit and Io. Yeah, we haven't really even talked about Io, by the way. Position 1, that's...
To settle the Weaver debate, by the way, he's been, over the past month, he's been pick banned 25 times, so he is...
He's pretty high then, yeah.
Just below Wraith King, below Monkey King, below Troll. So...
still up there, still up there. Yeah.
Still up there. Reasonable.
Yeah.
But I think over the past week is when we've seen a real, like...
pop-off.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, because I think he's one of these heroes which has actually come from pub games. Like, in pubs, he started getting picked up a lot. And that kind of spilled over into competitive, which is usually opposite way around. But
no, it's really the shard that makes him tick. It's also
insane.
It's also the fact that he's strong versus these top-tier position 1s at the moment.
Yeah, like the great laning stage gives you Roche taking potential. These two supports don't, not supports, like a Pango could be core here, but still does not provide any kind of real lockdown. You need some kind of silence against Weaver to be able to control. You need lower cooldown stun, otherwise like Weaver just gets out of control.
Yeah, you need something to set up the Pango. Like, if there's something to set up for the Pango, it can be really good against Weaver because you can roll into him, then you can swashbuckle. It's a lot of damage, a lot of burst for the Weaver to deal with, but you're not the one who starts that. And now they pick up the Ember Spirit on the side of LGD, so they're really kind of baiting Vici into picking some
look at these 3 picks on PSG.LGD, man. Like, if this was picked, I don't know, 2 months ago, and you see these 3 heroes, you'd be like, get me out.
These guys are smoking something. That's crazy. But now it makes total sense.
It does. You have a lot of backline reach on the side of PSG.LGD with the Weaver and Ember. I would still like to see something a little bit more conventional for their last 2 picks, some decent frontliners.
Give me some kind of stun. Give me something like you have nothing against the Ember Spirit. You have nothing against the Weaver. Like, what is that pick that provides you with like cheap silence? Puck is out, of course. First
Storm is an option
banned
as well, maybe.
I'd like to see Grim Beastmaster from Vici if they can get it.
Beast on both sides is still good.
Butter my muffin, but instead they go for the Rubik.
All right.
It's like whenever you see Weaver, like Rubik feels good because stealing that Shukuchi is just gonna be priority. You can do so much. Like either like if games is not going well, you can always split push with it. You can kill the couriers, provide like a lot of space for your team with just stolen Shukuchi.
And the most important aspect, once you steal that Shukuchi, you have instant initiation on the Ember Spirit with the lift out of Invis. That's so good on you.
I'm one of the few heroes which can actually chase down a Weaver, but...
One thing, this Weaver, yeah, you do have him versus the Phoenix Egg, but he's alone there. Like, Ember Spirit and Gyrocopter Gyro being a position 5 and Ember Spirit being mid laner, they don't necessarily get on top of that egg as easily and kill it. Mirana helps out with that, but their draft looks extremely wonky right now.
There's like good combo, you know, Ember Spirit, Mirana, we saw that multiple times. But who's gonna frontline? Like, who's gonna be that beefy boy that's gonna soak up some damage? Because right now, like Mirana, Weaver, just feels very weak, very vulnerable to a lot of bursts.
What spirits are left? Storm Spirit, Void Spirit also banned out. I want something like that from Storm. There you go. I just want something. It feels like such a good Storm game.
They have they have not enough lockdown as well on their side. They have like Arrow and they have chains pretty much.
It's really bad from PSG.LGD when it comes to that lockdown department, and this looks like such a strong Storm Spirit game. Ember, the lane itself, it can be a little bit weird, but later on, as a Storm Spirit, you should have a blast here.
That's what I'm wondering though. Like, are LGD actually playing for the lanes here? Are they going all in on that? But then Mirana doesn't really play into that too well, so maybe not. I don't know. It's interesting.
Looks like a very interesting draft from PSG.LGD. Not something that is very easy to draft or execute, though.
That's a Beastmaster ban.
Yeah. Beast just his value in this game was very high, but for Vici Gaming they already have their 3-4-5, so they couldn't grab it.
I think LGD need something more than the Beast now. I think they need something with multiple forms of lockdown, because.
No, I'm surprised they actually did not pick up a Beastmaster
earlier
before.
Right?
Like, like I think Mirana would get banned out. Like, even if Mirana gets banned out, like there are some other position 4s that can work well, provide you with a bit more lockdown, especially against like the Storm Spirit, Phoenix Egg. So it's gonna be hard.
Prophet banned out. Okay. I just don't want to. All right, so hear me out. So far. Fate Beyond has played exclusively Viper and Nature's Prophet in the last like 6-7 games. I don't want to see that Viper here, man.
Was it DK he played? Let me check this.
They're banning out the range heroes, so that means they want to pick.
Heroes also that are really good with Phoenix, right? Like this Medusa Phoenix combo plus Pango, and you're playing a Weaver, you want to be aggressive early on, you won't be able to do a lot.
So in the series against Elephant a week ago, he played Pangolier and Mars.
Picked or banned here, so he won't get that chance.
See what direction
is PL banned out here? Doesn't Vici Gaming just go with PL again? It looks better. Ember Spirit, later on can be problematic, but Weaver is not really a hero versus you.
5 seconds, they're really taking this time to.
Morphling, okay.
So once again, not enough stuns. They just abuse that. PSG.LGD does not have any kind of silence. Like, how are you gonna lock down this more?
You need instant disable from your offlane, at least.
At least.
Like, you need that, or the ability to itemize in an item, like into an Orchid or something similar.
No Mars available.
Oh wait, that's Weaver offlane then.
What?
Right?
Yeah, it's been done before, 1 or 2 times, if I remember correctly. Didn't really work that well, but it's hard to itemize on the offlane Weaver. Like, you do not want to buy Aghanim Scepter first because it got nerfed heavily in one of those patches, but you also want to be able to like deal damage. They don't have the front line at all. Like, I'm a bit worried how they're gonna make the plays on PSG.LGD.
It is an amazing anti-mage game though, right? Like,
it is.
It looks like a really good AM game. I'm just looking forward to hearing Black and what he thinks. I'm gonna go with Vici Gaming, but maybe he has some insight about this amazing AM and if he can carry or not.
I'll go with the Vici as well. Like, looks like a good anti-mage game against the Storm, against the Morphling. Like, Morphling doesn't deal well with Mana Burn, neither does the Storm Spirit, but the rest of the team just feels like very squishy and it needs a lot of time to come online, and it's also an offlane Weaver, so a very greedy lineup.
Weaver, Ember, Mirana, Anti-Mage. There's so much jumping, there's so much mobility on this team, and when the game descends into chaos, then maybe that's the team which is going to go ahead. So I'm going to go with LGD on this one through some wonky reasoning, but why not? And let's bring on the casters and find out what they have to say about game number 2. B-Cup and Black, what do you guys be thinking?
Okay, so I'm going to go with VG Gaming. They have the better draft overall, but I think the last pick AM at least gave them a chance to win this game. Before I thought they were really outpicked, but at least now they have a chance.
B-Cup.
You know, last game I followed you guys into Vici. I felt like I was maybe a little pressured to be the 5th guy. I'm going LGD this time. It's not happening again.
Well, you're not the 5th guy this time because I voted
Well,
LGD as well,
I know.
Okay,
But
cool.
just
Just
reasoning
making
from
sure.
the last game
It's okay.
comes
Got
into
it,
this
got it.
game.
We inspire you to be who you want to be and not follow the crowds. You're a
I'm a follower,
special
though.
individual, and we love you very much. And with that, you can take it away for game number 2 of Vici Gaming versus LGD here at the Chinese DPC. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, Nomad. Coming into game number 2 right away. LGD with a 1-0 lead. And,
This
well,
game's going to be tough.
a win here for LGD, it gives them a 4-3 record and a chance to
A
be
guaranteed
at the major.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, at least the tiebreaker.
Yeah, a guaranteed. And if Elephant then lose their game, then they're at the major.
Yeah.
Which,
Which would cause tiebreakers on the other end. Magma would
Yes.
be tied 2-5 with Ehome.
exactly.
So things get interesting. That too, you know, with Vici, as
It's gonna be tough,
A
though.
win here would put them at 6-1, and they could have potential tie-breaking opportunities. But you know, everything's all in the air. We'll see
30
what ends
seconds
up
to battle.
happening as LGD. I mean, both these teams went back and forth. There was no like clear one-sided victor. Obviously, LGD win the game, but it was
was a
back and
struggle.
forth the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why I went VG this game, I told you before, the Storm, don't have much lockdown for him. Same with the Pangolier.
The battle
Same with the
begins.
Morphling, really. And why I say this Anti-Mage can be the guy that can carry them is simply because he counters Morphling, he counters Storm, he counters Pangolier. He's really good against everyone here. It just he really needs to pop off, you know. Like from beginning to end, he needs to have a free game, he needs to get his items up quick, and then he can win his game quite easily. Quite easily.
Now, I'm waiting to see if Ame can put it together. You know, it's a little tough for him at times to feel maybe as confident. Maybe from last game, his confidence might have been dwindled a little bit because it felt like he was going in BKB Battle Trance and just
Many times, yeah. It
little-
was rough.
Yeah, a little too quick. I don't know if he gets away with that on Anti-Mage if he were to do that again. Obviously, he doesn't have the Battle Trance, but if he's to use everything at his disposal and then be very kiteable after.
They actually choose to lane AM against Morphling. That is very curious. Morphling is one of the better heroes against AM because you don't really need mana to operate in the laning phase. And you have a lot of damage advantage over the AM. So we'll see if that backfires or not. I thought this Pangoli Rubik is actually a pretty free lane for an AM.
Radiant's courier has been
Beyond's
killed.
courier getting taken out. He's on that off-lane Weaver. Could see Ags come out from the off-lane Weaver at some point. This isn't really your traditional Faith Beyond hero.
It is not.
But Faith Beyond has played a lot of different heroes.
Yeah. I mean,
And
he is very versatile.
Yeah.
Ever since his Wings days already.
Do you need him to be sacrificial? He could do that. Do you need him to stabilize in his lane by himself and try lane in the other lane? Yeah, he could do that. He could do everything.
Unfortunately, Weaver's not a hero that can be sacrificed. It's not a comeback hero. He doesn't offer any stuns. All he does is offer damage. Ori has not yet missed the last hit, but we're sitting at 12.
This is one of those signature heroes, Ori. When I think about him, it's TA Storm are definitely up there. Nothing to say, you know, it's his too. When I think nothing to say, I think Ember. So we talked about mid matchups, and now you've got two players on one of their best heroes. It should be a fun one to watch over mid.
Sure. It's a little bit of an unfair matchup because Storm does have the advantage. I would probably say it's like a 6-4. but at least, you know, nothing to say. Doesn't have like an auto-lose matchup or anything like that. So he can still outplay, get out of his lane okay. And he's doing okay for himself already. So no worries there. But Ori is just a god. He only missed one last hit so far out of 5 waves.
Just making himself a bigger target for the anti-mage.
Yeah, that's how it can go sometimes. You jump the AM, you barely don't kill him.
You just get
Triple
blown up
kill.
yourself.
Yep.
Innocent's getting low. Swashbuckling old 11 with first blood.
It is a very strong duel in here. This is Rubik, Pangolier. If you get disarmed at all, you are just gonna get hit a lot. Rubik hurts quite a bit, early levels. And yeah.
Faithion going down too.
Yeah, he just suicided to the tower to make sure that he comes back with full resources. A very common play. Gyrocopter not being top.
Little vortex there.
Oh, bottle refill for Ori. If this storm gets
low,
a good
he
game.
might. God, that was so close.
Ah, he knew, he knew.
The other two spirits just missed him.
He knew. That's all I gotta say.
All right, fair enough. Works for me.
Yeah.
I won't question it.
Good.
Man, old 11 and Ori are
region rule.
CSing so well.
Yeah, this Pangolier is actually same CS as the Storm, who has not missed the creep yet, pretty much. He also got first blood on the Pangolier. Like, Pangolier this game is going to be such a big problem. And Storm Spirit is going to be such a big problem. They have way too many big problems. Like, even this morphing is going to become a big problem at some point. Maybe arrow top? Nope, didn't try to. Now they're just trying top and leaving the Weaver bottom.
Which you said is not really where you want to have the Weaver playing sacrificial, but if Faithion can still get something out of this by himself, is it as bad as maybe we think?
I gotta be completely honest, I hate Weaver offlane. Like, the hero just has no... You just can't play him in any sort of utility way. Now they have AM as well as Weaver. It's just gonna be a struggle in the mid game to fight. Like, I don't like lineups where you can't fight. This Pangolier is gonna do so much more than a Weaver. Just by hero design.
Old 11 gets to stay in his lane while PYW refills his bottle. Lacoste called me out and said I say it all the time. I'm going to say it again here. He was right.
Are you even trying?
I
That's
love
fine.
offlane bottle,
Offlane bottle is good. I love it too.
but I do like getting called out.
Oh, you do? Because
do,
I'm
'cause-
holding myself back here.
No,
Like,
because I repeat myself. I like when people tell me I'm repeating myself.
everybody repeats themselves though. Like, everybody has like their own little thing they always say. Like, for the costas, he always says Like,
I've
they
never
have a
heard that.
vision. They have
But I like saying it every game. It's one of those things where I'm just like, I like bottle. I don't know. I had a big laugh about it.
You do you, man. That's all I can tell you. As long as you have fun. Arrow on the morphling.
Yeah, that's going to land. That's going to be a kill on Poyoyo.
That was right down his spine, I believe. If morphing has a spine, I'm not sure.
It's made of water.
It's a water spine.
Yeah. Morphling reminds me of that boss in the Water Temple from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, it's a great boss. Morpho, or whatever his name is, Morpho.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Another arrow? Not today, sir.
Yeah, but, oh, phasing that Rolling Thunder again. Holding
Starfall
it
level
late.
2. Oh, 2 more auto attacks and he's dead. This Weaver could potentially just clip him.
Oh, God.
Oh,
Or die,
okay.
and then get traded.
Now this Mirana is really happy. Suddenly level 5.
Ooh. Waypoint forward.
Dodge the rocket on Morph.
Innocence.
Yeah.
Getting hit with that adaptive strike. I've been saying, ooh, I'm fake hyping over here.
You're a
Sorry.
fake hyper, it's fine. That's what you need. Sometimes you just need the fake hype to get your co-caster up to speed as well, you know? Make sure that I don't fall asleep. You're doing a good job.
Yeah, I'll keep you up. I got you.
Thank you.
7 minutes in, though. Top of the net worth are both the Storm as well as the Pangolier.
Yeah. But the Radiant supports are doing a lot better.
Yeah. I mean, Phoenix has 900 net worth. And except for the Ring of Regen, everything's consumable. Not a really
And they do have quite a lot of egg killers. Mirana can kill egg, Gyrocopter can kill egg, Weaver can kill egg, Anti-Mage can jump on top of the egg. And now they lane swap. I don't want to beat this AM. Level 5 AM against level 7 Pangle, that seems rough. Mirana's level 6 already. That might be a very early and surprising Moonlight Shadow that they can use to their advantage here.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising.
Bot lane, nothing to say TPing. With
do have
smoke
Warrior.
and Arcane Rune.
And UI.
He used his Q. Now is the time to go in.
They're going to move over. They're going to try and make something happen, but Ori
Storm
shows
is here
up.
too.
He's got the Vortex and the Icarus side. They get the Kona on it. They look over at old 11. They might be able to get a trip with Moonlight Shadow being used. Nothing to say, though. Oh, he's invis and trying to make something happen with an Arcane Rune and maybe gets old 11, but he's got some distance.
Wow, they thought they were next level with that rotation, but Ori was already prepared. He was like, I got you guys. Now AM died once more.
Searing Chain. Arrow misses. I know they've got the
Phoenix.
disarm. DY still going to fall, though, to the Starstorm.
Yeah, Phoenix is definitely having a rough game, but his AM is also not happy. He isn't even the lowest net worth of the course, though. Weaver sitting even below him. Gonna be rough. As I said, Weaver's not a hero that really recovers in a game, you know? You win your lane, then you snowball. That's the point of a Weaver. If you lose your lane as Weaver, you're gonna be struggling to find an impact. Old 11 here, just dead.
And the TP. Oh, just enough
That was
damage.
close, yeah.
Nothing to say getting the kill. I will say, Faith Beyond is ahead of Poyoyo. So, like, the offlaners are doing better than the carries at the moment.
No, he's 400 behind. In terms of net worth.
And, yeah, net worth, the levels are there, though.
I mean levels, yeah. It's just the problem with Weaver is that, like, you have this one build that's really good, which everybody goes for, which is Falcon Blade into Maelstrom, but it doesn't give you any utility.
Right.
Problem. Like, Pangolier has disarm, has stuns, has slows, you know. Weaver has none of that. He's just a damage monster, basically. So they will have to make very good use of the Searing Chains plus Arrow combination to lock people down. That's really the main way they have. Storm found a Region Rune. Perfect for him, of course. I mean, Ori is just having a super good game. Like, sitting on top of the net worth, untouched pretty much the entire game. Going threats into Orchid. At this rate, he'll have it at like minute 13, minute 14. This Region Rune is really gonna make him farm so much faster.
Yeah, the Orchid has been a timing that we've seen in a lot of games that needs to be there pretty quickly.
Yeah. And also AM went for threats before Battle Fury, so his Battle Fury is gonna be quite late. Probably minute 15, minute 16. That means there is a long timing window where the Storm can just, you know, pick him off with that Orchid.
So Ame might have to play extra safe if he can't farm this Battle Fury quickly enough.
Definitely. We'll have to see. If Ahmed dies once or twice more, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Weaver actually TP'd bottom for nothing.
Yeah, now nobody's in that top lane getting anything.
Yeah, I guess they just kind of want to protect the anti-mage here, but they're giving up a lot. Gyrocopter now level 6, 2 fluffy heads. Has kind of become like a support staple at this point. Just building some fluffy heads.
Tower is under attack.
He's got to stay warm with the fluffy hats, but it does give him an extra 250 health, which could be a difference maker in some of these fights early on.
Yeah, certainly. Ember Spirit TP top, but of course there's a Remnant bottom in case there's going to be a fight breaking out there.
Yeah, he's trying to get a Maelstrom. PYW now level 6. He will immediately steal Flame Guard at level 4. That's a nice feeling. And the Moonlight Shadows, they start to rotate towards bottom. They caught vision on that. They want a Remnant to come over. Nothing to say. Comes from top to bottom. They've got the Searing Chains as well as the Arrow, but Old 11, he will survive. Telekinesis Supernova. One more shot. Can they kill it? Yes, they finally can. Time lapse used by Faith Beyond. He's looking in deep. Maybe finding a kill on a PYW. They will dust up Faith Beyond. It's a 2-for-1 so far, looking like it might be a trade, and it will be. AM goes in and gets Old 11. Can he survive? Just points away. Innocence goes forward and throws out a rocket barrage.
Not a terrible fight here for Radiant. AM lived, got a kill as well. But just overall, because they've been less efficient on the map, the 3 cores are really quite far behind. Ember is 2k behind. Morphling AM are somewhat similar, and Pangolier is also having a very nice game for himself.
Yeah, which we saw in the last game too. How important Old 11 was on that Pangolier.
So Weaver is actually going into an Orchid, trying to kind of force that mobility, utility route rather, against the Storm Spirit. But it's not going to come very quickly at all on this Weaver. Probably around 5 more minutes or so to go.
Anti-Mage almost has the battlefield.
Yeah, Storm now picked up his Orchid. Like, if he can find his AM
Radiant are
like once or twice, he's really going to delay his game. Storm is now TPing top.
Yeah, he needs to leave already.
Oh, they glyph the creep. Which then, of course, AM is like, why the hell did you guys do that? I'm out of here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He has no ward there, so he can't really see the anti-mage.
Refills the bottle with the bounty rune that he dug up with the trusty shovel. He's still sitting here top.
Yeah, losing a lot of farm himself there. But AM is... Okay, no, he's not coming. There's no way Ame is going to come there, so...
Radiant structures
He senses the trap being laid out for him.
Yeah, I mean, after you glyph a creep like that, it's just no way. Like,
Radiant's bottom tower
he's
is under
not
attack.
some kind of pop player.
Dire are scanning.
Gyrocopter, though. He's walking into the Remnant Vision. He just barely didn't walk into it. And Ori has been waiting here for a good minute already. And now AM is coming back, though. He just blinked in.
He just blinked in. That might just mean he's dead.
He's
Orchid used Vortex there. The damage is enough.
He was so patient, and it finally got rewarded. Wow. He waited there for a good minute. I didn't think he would kill him there either. Mid lane. Check kill, arrow.
That does land on Old 11, but they don't want to dive in.
Yeah, no follow-up damage. Phoenix has Supernova. Rubik has Lift as well. And as I said, there was pre-Battle Fury still. It sets him back even further. Now he still needs 700 gold to finish that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He's going to need a lot of time here.
Yeah, he will.
We're not even talking about Poyoyo, who's just farming up while the rest of the team is on the map.
I was a little confused with the laning decision they made, because I feel like AM is one of the best heroes against Pangolin lane.
Under attack.
So I thought they would just take that matchup, but now it's really hurting him. Minute 15, still no Battle Fury. Coming very slowly. I'm also afraid that by the time the Orchid comes out, Storm is going to be very close to his BKB already.
He's already one component in. They've got a Maelstrom picked up by Old 11. They're going to smoke if they can find this anti-mage again.
Smoke flash here.
Oh boy. This one's close. Icarus dive in. DY, they will go over. They've got themselves the Supernova used. A quick kill on the Innocence. LGD can only just disengage. This is while Anti-Mage is still trying to get the Battle Fury.
Gonna lose their mid tower for this, possibly.
Similar to how the PL couldn't really fight for a long time either.
Yeah, caught the Ember Spirit. Here's Illuminate.
Oh no! Rolling Thunder, Vortex in, nothing to say, nothing you can do.
He thought he was safe because he had the Illu Rune to dispel the silence, but he just got chain stun. Good Pangolier roll through. Yeah, I mean, if he gets that dispel off right away, he's probably gonna live, but he was just too fast on the Storm.
This is all looking good for Vici. Much better than game one in the early game, because we were talking about it in between games, how we were surprised how well LGD played above Vici in the early game of the first one.
Yeah, it was really draft related. At least in this game, it's really draft related. Like, LGD's draft is very, very defensive,
right,
and they don't really have many ways to set up. As I said, their main setup is a steering chains for an arrow, which is not hard to execute. It is just not very reliable.
A golden thread.
I mean, we've seen him miss the combo already a few times. Almost the Orchid, though, on Weaver. Maybe that helps them a little bit.
Stealing Tsukushi here. Yep, one of the best Rubik spells in the game, of course.
And he's going to move forward, too, with it.
He will have, as you said, his Orchid soon. Very good. However, Morphling already has Manta Style. Storm, only one component away from BKB. So this Orchid has a little bit of a strong timing, but not too much. And also at the same time, he's just a Weaver sitting at 1300 health.
He can get
because he
killed so
itemized this
quickly.
way. Yeah. Like, Storm can turn this around very easily. If you jump on him first, Weaver's gonna die. Rubik is already setting up top. They will need to put a sentry down to catch this Rubik, because he's just killing every wave here.
One Chikuchi with the Fade Bolt. It's killed wave, yeah, easy.
Morphling still farming away. AM finally picked up his Battle Fury.
Trying to get into that Manta as quickly as he can. Some wards down for LGD.
This
They are behind them, but there was a smoke used by Vici. They've got themselves the Orchid. Sunray on top. Ember trying to survive, but he's dead once again. Nothing to say, nothing to do, nothing to damage, and he just dies so fast. Faithion getting chased, and they've got Chikuchi with him. They can keep up with Faithion. He'll try to get away, but there's no way out. And this is another one for Vici that just looks so easy.
Yeah, that was the Orchid reveal. Storm had a haste rune, just ran away. That's how easy it is sometimes. And of course, Ember does not have a defensive tool yet. So he just dies to that silence in the end. Top lane again. Gyrocopter. He should just be dead.
Ooh.
Wow, 5 health. But Rubik on his tail.
And there's the Fade Bolt. Yeah, you need to get Chikuchi out of PYW's hands because it is quite deadly. And they're falling behind very fast. This was 1K, it was close, and now all of a sudden 5K.
Item
Things
builds.
really getting out of control here.
Yeah, they went for the greedier routes. Ember went for the Maelstrom first. Then Weaver went for Orchid. Both of these items haven't paid off at all yet. I think Ember died twice since he picked up the Maelstrom. Weaver couldn't get any kills with the Orchid timing. So it just all adds up, you know, and now they're almost 6K gold behind.
They want a BKB on Faith Beyond.
Storm already finishes BKB now, so that Orchid timing is gone as well.
Come over, DY hit with the Orchid. They won't land the arrow. Starstorm comes in, and they do find at least one, and that's where the power lies when you can find a support by themselves, but the cores, it's not going to look as easy.
If you can find the Rubik, you can kill him. Phoenix, same thing. Possibly even the Pangolier.
Oh, they go through on it, nothing to say. Look at this, he's just dead so fast.
Too much damage. It's just too much damage coming out. All they wanted was a little bounty rune. Can't even get that. They have a sentry up there. But not pursuing.
Ag's next for the Storm, by the way.
Straight away, huh? Interesting.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. It's one of the strongest Ags in the game. And it's mostly to protect the egg. Because they will have to surround the egg and hit it.
And if you could just Vortex right in the egg.
That's a 3 or 4 man Vortex right there.
Yeah.
And it can literally just win you the game by itself. AM though, Yasha picked up already.
Orchid again, they look over, find Jin-Q, and we talked about the Orchid timing being so good for this Storm.
It's just easy for him. It's just too easy for him.
Yeah.
8-0-3. BKB already picked up. Crazy. Crazy Storm performance here.
Pretty flawless so far. No, look at the anti-mage. They've got the silence, Vortex, Rolling Thunder, no way to blink out. Ame gone again. Rolling Thunder comes out of the high ground, and whoa.
He had 20 health.
Caught. Not killed just yet. Instead, they'll turn this around and go for the Pangolier. Will shield crash and try to survive. He's
very tanky.
Supernova's used. They've got a telekinesis on a Faith Beyond. They'll steal Chikuchi again. He'll move forward looking for this Weaver. And the damage they're doing is pretty nuts.
Morphling coming from behind.
For LGD, they're going to continue to move in. A couple of leaps. Starstorm as well as an arrow from the Morphling onto the Mirana. So Poyoyo kills Jin-Q. They look over, nothing to say. I honestly don't see much for LGD here.
It was a level 4 shield crash on 4 heroes. 72% damage reduction. They didn't damage him at all.
No.
They used like a rocket barrage and dealt like 1 damage per rocket. Ridiculous. I thought he was dead there for sure. Like he set himself up for an arrow with his Jules on himself, but he gets the shield crash out on 4. Suddenly, apparently invulnerable.
Yeah. 72% equals invulnerable, and I mean that is just
10K behind now. It's just, as you said, they're falling behind very quickly.
And they're not showing anything that makes me think that they're going to dig their way out.
Well, it's tough. AM still has to farm. Ember at this point still has to farm. He needs that BKB. Weaver, same thing. Has to farm for that BKB. They just have no fighting power. Which is why I favor the VG draft so much.
I should have gone with my heart.
Well, it only works if you have a heart.
Jeez.
Don't worry. Heartless people are cool. I'm one of them.
Radiant's top
Now
tower
AM
is under attack.
The top.
Dire's
still needs
top
6 times to
tower
finish his
is under
Manta.
attack.
I
Radiant's
did
top
say
tower
LGD
is
can
falling.
win if this AM gets a super good game. And he is having quite the opposite, unfortunately.
He hasn't found any space. He hasn't found anywhere where he can be involved, maybe come in for a late pickoff or anything like that.
Dire's
Yeah.
bottom
The
tower
problem is-
is
Going
under
for Roach.
attack.
They have no space. Weaver needs space. Ember needs space. AM needs space. Where's all the farm gonna come from?
You can only create so much space
Yes.
Radiant are scared.
until, well, it all runs out.
Now, Storm with an Aegis, TPing straight into the action bottom. And
Nothing
he's just
to
dead on Gyro.
Yeah.
Yeah, steal that
Such a quick
kill,
kill.
do it. Gotta make sure to keep Ori's ego in check.
Would that upset you if your teammate Morphling just comes in and takes the kill
No.
away from you?
No, it's
Rolling
good.
Thunder in, and now they'll
Opposite
move with
again.
Ball Lightning. You've
And the
got
regen rune.
just the Orchid and a regen rune, so he should be able to fight and clean up. Oh! Not enough damage. And Weaver's been caught. Supernova, like a good spot on the
just
high
egg
ground.
him.
Wow.
A little bit of an overkill.
A little bit, but man, you're playing Phoenix. You're happy with it. Got the kill on Faith Beyond. I think there's really nothing to really
Radiant's
quite
middle
fear
tower is under attack.
going in and using that egg.
Radiant's
Yeah, might as well
structures
use it.
are fortified.
Not like there's gonna be a
Dire's
team fight anytime
structures
soon.
are fortified.
Or one that you think you're going to lose
Radiant's
without it.
middle tower is under attack.
The problem is Radiant can only split push, but they have no split pushing
Radiant's
tools at
middle
all.
tower
No
has
BKBs. Weaver dies in one Orchid. So does Ember. Now, Anti-Mage at least has a tool to dispel the silence.
Radiant's top
He'll
tower
have to
is
do a
under
lot
attack.
of farming here. He needs like 3 more items at minimum.
Yep. Go after old 11. A lot of his mana taken out pretty quickly, but just not enough damage. Really nothing to follow this up. As they've got help from the rest of the team showing up very quick.
I like this early gem pickup here by VG. They're dominating the map, and the gem makes it so that they will continue to do so.
They'll keep the vision. They'll take out their opponents, squeeze the map even tighter.
They've had a long ward here though. On that high ground there.
The Orchid and the Vortex.
It's just too easy.
No way
Here's
to
mana
even get a
void.
time lapse off. Oh, okay. Takes out the Aegis, but here comes Poyoyo. They've
Arrow?
got the arrow timing, but no follow-up. Fake height. Sorry. I got so excited. The timing was perfect. I was like, does he have it?
The arrow timing!
And nothing happened. I was pretty pumped.
The arrow! Barely
All
missed.
right. Vortex, they're going to lock down this anti-mage. They look to kill off Ame, but he's got the Manta. Use that counter spell and blink away.
Radiant's
You
top
know something
tower
cool?
is under attack.
AM can't spell shield the Vortex anymore, because now it's an AoE around Storm.
Yikes.
Wow. Isn't that game winning?
For the Storm.
It is, yeah. Dig up a bounty rune, say, hey Storm, you want this bounty rune? Storm says, hey, yeah, I do. And proceeds to pick it up.
Always nice.
Yeah. And now he gets a haste rune. Gaben's like, hey Storm, you want a haste rune? Hell yeah, I do.
Come on.
Alright, now egg online again. I want to see the combo. Egg, everybody tries to kill the egg, and then
Ball lightning all the way through, gets the Orchid out on Jinkyu. Sunray and the kill.
I can't believe these itemizations. Like, even the Mirana is going so greedy in a lineup like this already. No Yules to dispel the Orchid, also just dies. Alright, guys, let's see how greedy we can get.
He's going Falcon Blade Axe.
Yeah, can't be more greedy than that, that's for sure. Gyrocopter. At least he's not that greedy, I guess. But how can he be, though? He's just dying every time.
think he's just a greedy pick in general.
What? Good to go up there?
In the 5, yeah.
It is. It is. And then Mirana 4 is not much less greedy.
No.
Then Anti-Mage 1, Weaver 3, let's go. Storm is going for Lincolns. He does not want to be the suicide bomber. It can be really tough. Like sometimes as Storm, you know, if you just miscalculate a little bit and the aim lifts, you can really just be your whole team's death. It's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah, I almost am surprised he's going Lincolns just because I like see Uri in the first 28 minutes of this game being hyper aggressive and like no fear. Lincolns shows fear.
Yeah, he shows that he's immortal. Arrow, nope. Sudden haste activation. Mirana's godly calculations were thrown off.
Dust. Burn not enough to kill off DY. Faith Beyond needs to get out of dodge.
Double damage Storm now. He can solo kill pretty much anyone.
I want to say he's controlled the last 5 runes at least.
If not more, yeah. I didn't quite count.
Orchid,
No
they
BKB
will
yet.
find nothing to say. Arrow comes in. It does hit the Morphling. So
If
give him
that-
time to nothing to say to get out.
If that arrow didn't connect, he would have been dead. Also, he didn't pop the DD. I think he would have died with the DD as well. Maybe choosing to save it for a team fight instead.
Yeah, for sure. BKB not too close for Anti-Mage, but he did get a basher.
Dire's bottom tower is
Like you
under
said,
attack.
after the Battle Fury Manta, he was 3 items away. But does Basher count as a
BKB
full
Basher,
item
at least he
or a
can
half
kind of
item?
fight. But I still think you need probably one more damage item afterwards. Like, you kind of rely on being able to jump to Storm otherwise.
Yeah.
Arrow onto the Rubik.
All right, hits the Rubik, goes after PYW. Manta and the BKB as well as the Vortex coming through at Faith Beyond.
bet
He's
that's-
getting just burned out via the Sunray. Surprised he holds on to time lapse. There's Supernova, and they just want to run. Innocence is going to die now.
Can't even run though.
Gyro can't. They've got the Blink with the Rolling Thunder right on top of nothing to say.
Vortex.
They're just putting it all together. Vortex in, nothing to say. He drops. That's all for a Rubik kill.
Yeah, and Morphling is Morphling.
Radiant's
He
top
destroys
tower has
building
fallen.
incredibly fast, of course. They might even look to go high ground here. If they're really confident,
4v2.
maybe force a buyback.
Yeah.
But VG choosing to play it more safe. Storm no BKB, so yeah, they're gonna get 4 bounty
Radiant's
runes.
top tower is under
So do you want to hit or
attack.
not? Just keep running back and forth.
Radiant structures.
He's
I-
getting momentum for the waves. He's water. He's got to
There's no momentum there, I think.
hit the buildings.
Sorry. No momentum. Fake hype.
Doing
The arrow! Oh, I just hit an illusion. That was godly. I love that.
That's how I'll talk about every arrow from now on.
You should. Roshan
Radiant's
may
top
respawn
tower
in
is under
50.
attack.
Realistically, that means in 3 minutes, 50 seconds.
Just thinking about how I'm going to say the arrow.
Think about it, yeah. It's important. You gotta convey the message in a good, meaningful way.
So now they've got Ags on Weaver. 20-second cooldown on the time lapse. Cast it on your allies.
What happens if you get orchided though? Then you're dead.
Well, yeah. But
If you're not, then you can save someone.
if you're not and somebody else gets orchided,
Then you can save.
could save that.
Amazing what you found.
It's definitely a good axe, one of the best axes in the game as
Radiant
well.
are scanning.
It's just, it doesn't add any stuns or damage. It's just a save, you know?
Right.
Like, you still won't be able to kill the Morphling because of it. Man, Poyoyo is playing with like 2.6k health. Very rare to ever see that on a Morphling. Usually they're at like 1500, 1400.
That's something you'll see like Fly do.
Yeah.
Be
and
really low on health. And
then
then
either he
stop.
kills a guy or he dies.
Well,
Or both.
that's usually how Dota works, right?
Yeah.
Either kill somebody.
50-50.
Yeah. Every situation is 50-50,
Either you win or you die.
no matter what the chart says.
Radiant's
The
bottom
arrow?
tower is under attack.
Oh, it hits!
Hey, it hits!
Where's the follow-up? None.
Very good.
He's going for Lincolns as well on Pangolier. It's a kind of a preemptive Abyssal Blade counter as well, which you know will come out eventually.
BKB coming
Smoked
out.
up.
Ooh, didn't buy the BKB just yet. Now they're going to look to get him, but the time lapse is used onto the anti-mage. He's going to beat up to keep him alive. No, he's not. He's still just dead. Like,
And no buyback on him. He just bought his BKB.
yeah.
Double damage Morphling.
Buys out on the BKB. Arrow comes in, rules up into the air. Waveform onto the back lines. Two
Hold on,
shotting
cool.
innocents. They've got the Vortex on of 2 heroes. And it is an ultra kill for Erica.
No one buyback.
No rampage.
This looks like
GG is called. Wow.
GG. Indeedo. Well, unfortunately, the draft kind of.
Radiant's middle tower is
know.
under attack. Vici Gaming. Victory.
What do you do?
Yeah.
You have so many passive heroes. You have no setup other than a cheering chains. Searing chains.
Yeah.
Yes. English is hard sometimes. And it's just not enough against Morph, Storm, Pangolier. They played their lineup pretty flawlessly. They won all 3 lanes.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, pretty
Played
well.
Ultra greed on
played.
LGD.
Super greed. Every position was almost the maximum greed. Like, other than Ember Spirit, they had max greed on every position.
Yeah, it
They
was
got punished for it.
really tough. And yeah, they did get punished for it. LGD, they dropped the second game. Those chances of making it to a potential tiebreaker slipping, but will they fall completely out of their hands? Just for the panel to break down. Back over to you guys.
Thank you indeed. Yeah, Vici Gaming, they turn it on for game number 2, and LGD could not stand the heat as they melt away and turn the series into a 1-1 draw. It was what we were expecting. I mean, these two teams coming in, they've got a lot to play for here. LGD have been slowly getting better and better, but this wasn't an example of that, unfortunately.
I think they fell victims to their own draft, overcomplicating things, experimenting too much. You know, we're going to get this Weaver, flex it, we're going to open up with Gyro 5. Like, that's all fine and dandy until, like, you end up with, like, too many stuff that actually does not work. Like, your best way of starting a team fight is probably Moonlight Shadow into something, and that something is Arrow or chains into Arrow, and like this was a fun stuff to watch. You know, Pangolier, my man's broken. You know, I'm gonna say it.
72% damage resistance.
Like, he's not taking
Seems
any
good.
kind of damage. Pangolier needs to be banned out by LGD in the third game because he pretty much was just winning them the game.
They're playing it all the time. It's like with 100% pick rate in the last how many games now?
Or take an answer. We were yelling for the Beastmaster and we didn't see it. You know, the puck's been banned, that won't be there, but
the thing is, the draft that's as flexible as PSG.LGD's with this Weaver might work if you don't have a position 5 gyro as well. Like, there's so much instability. This gyro already on its own.
You've changed your tune, mister.
What do you mean?
I mean, in game number 1, you were like, oh, I'm convinced by this gyrocopter now.
No, but it's a completely different draft.
Yeah.
That first draft is very stable. It has all the components that you need for a normal draft. You have catch, you have late game potential, everything is there. And I back there, then in the game 1, I didn't believe in the gyro, but it proved me wrong. In this game, however, gyro proved the first fact is that it can work as a 5, but man, you need a decent draft. Everything around it. You have a Mirana 4, buying Ogre Axe after Falcon Blade, going straight into Aghanim's, versus a Storm that already has an Orchid. Ember Spirit is the only hero here that could really play Dota. Like, he was constantly attacked on, jumped on by Storm Spirit and everyone else and killed off.
This early Orchid timing on the Storm Spirit kind of shut down every single hero on PSG.LGD. Like, movements around the map waiting for such a long time for AM to show up on the lane. He shows up, he dies. Like, if you see that Storm's having that good of a game, maybe you can start thinking about Yule Scepter could be an item, but then again, like, I don't scale that much. I'm gonna try to get Maelstrom into BKB instead. Like, the itemization, you mentioned that, like, Falcon Blade going into Aghanim's Scepter, it's just like too much greed. Weaver going into like Falcon Blade Orchid. It felt like they were just playing a pub game, everyone playing for themselves.
Not on the same page, really.
Yeah.
With you draft, but you also have you draft to have everyone on the same page, but also the itemization needs to be there. And in this game from PSG.LGD, we haven't seen one or the other, really.
It's a shame as well because LGD, you know, they've been looking like one of the most cohesive teams in the region as of recently, but this game, it was just a complete mess. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's a pressure, or maybe, as you say, they got a little bit too smart for their boots.
I'm gonna go back to how you opened up today's show, you know, about the chefs and everything, and then there goes the famous one, too many chefs in the kitchen.
Spoil the broth.
Exactly. Like
Certainly does.
This is what kind of happened here. They had too many ideas, with Vici Gaming once again keeping things simple on their side, just playing the easy Dota, opening up, not trying to mess, go into their heads like, yeah, well, which role can this hero be played at? Like, they just pick simple stuff and they execute it well.
Yeah, I feel like the drafting room in this game might have been like one of those things where they have like strings hung up, you know, relating this, like all the different heroes' pictures, like if they pick this and we could do this and then counteract with this, and then in the
exactly,
end it just
that's really what it was, because there is reasoning and pattern behind PSG.LGD's draft. There's a reason why they get this Weaver. You're thinking, okay, they're gonna pick that troll, we band out everything else, he's highly contested, we get the Weaver, we got the favorable matchup once again, but then they pick so many heroes on other positions that are good versus Weaver that you're forced to relegate him on position 3, and then you have a Weaver 3, Mirana 4, and your whole draft just falls
You don't
apart.
have the front line, you don't have anyone to start a fight. Like, the way they set up the lanes was Morphling against AM. Like, Morphling doesn't care at the start about his mana getting burned, and then they swap the lanes. You play level 5 Anti-Mage into level 7 Pango. Like, what could possibly go wrong? I have no idea.
Gee, Gillis cost, I sure don't know, but I'm sure LGD certainly do after this one. But of course, with every game, there must be an MVP, and our MVP in this game will surprise absolutely nobody, as Ori will take it on his Storm Spirit, absolutely decimating. This Orchid timing was so damn fast, and when you're playing into 4 heroes which absolutely hate playing into Orchid, fast one is going to do work.
Still though, the optimization from him is like he went for that Orchid, BKB straight into Aghanims to be able to not have to use his BKB to pull the Anti-Mage as well. Just overall very good itemization by Ori, and the fact that he killed Nothing to Say's Emperor like 3 times in a row is like, his positioning was stellar. Everything was on point.
It was unfortunate for Nothing to Say because, you know, they had no way to start the fight, so he kind of just volunteered to be like the guy that just kind of...
Guys, listen, I'll go in and pray that I don't die and just cast a couple of spells, maybe I get the Remnant out. It's one of those drafts, you know, where it has to be like that. Like, you need to make stuff happen. In the end, you just realize you messed up. And yeah, have to reset. Everyone's acting gangsta until Pango shows up in the game and takes over.
Sometimes it do be that way.
There was one very small thing that happened in the defense of the mid-tier 1 that maybe if it went the other way, they could have they could stand a better chance. It's when Ember runs in, just like Lacoste says, and he tries to make stuff happen, tries to start a fight because he has Illusion Rune. And he's thinking, okay, Storm is going to jump me, I'm going to be able to use my Illusion Rune, and then we'll make something happen afterwards. But Pango, everyone else stuns him, and he falls a bit too quickly.
Yeah, unfortunately, they did just drop the whole kitchen sink on him. He dies, and thus their chances of winning game number 2 go out the window. But hopefully, they can bring it back indoors for game number 3 and make that a close one. We shall see. We're going to throw it over to a short break, after which we shall return for the hopefully thrilling conclusion of this series here at the Perfect World DPC. We'll see you very soon. and welcome back to the Chinese DPC. My name is Nomad, and join me on the panel is Lizard and Lacoste as we get into game number 3, the grand finale of the series, which decides so much in this region. Vici Gaming versus LGD. Guys, how do we think the coins are going to fall in this third and final game?
I mean, I don't want to, you know, sometimes it's all about the draft. I think that was the previous game. They had the 5 agility heroes. I don't think I remember seeing that for a very long time. But yeah, they showed that they can draft better throughout like the DPC season, throughout the like even the FDC or FGC tournament. So yeah, like I just want to see a bit of a different approach, maybe just keep things simple.
Just give us some more of that game 1 action. Give us, I want more of that good stuff. Just standard, we have, like, I've said it, after the 8 picks in the first game of the series, all of those heroes could have been predicted because they've played them in the last 10 games. I want the same stuff and then maybe break who's a better drafter on the win condition of position 1. But besides that, you don't have to flex too much. We don't need this Weaver offlane with the Mirana 4.
Not in a game like that, that's for sure. Things did not go their way. But one thing we know about LGD is that they learn their lessons.
Pango.
I took them a while, and that leaves Shaman in the pool. So, like, Vici Gaming is, yeah, we'll take that one.
Oh
Phoenix
no,
as
we
well.
have to pick Shaman. What will we do? PYW Shaman, what a shame.
Yeah, that's like if they play Shaman, they play a lot of Phoenix together with it as well, and both of the like you can't ask for a better duo of supports. But there is one thing. Usually when they do have them two, they have an offlane Pango. So they have this super mobile hero up front. Okay, they go with it anyway. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why every single team that plays Vici Gaming bans Phoenix and Shadow Shaman in the first.
Seems like PSG.LGD learned a lot from the previous, you know, Beastmaster. They ban out that Pango here because Pango was causing a lot of issues. Now you have the attack speed against the Phoenix. I talked about Lycan during the first game against the Shadow Shaman, which is like really good. It's pretty much the same thing, you know. You send these Necro Warriors plus a Boar and Shaman.
And they're banning out Tide. Plus Mars is banned out. Suddenly this Lycan feels really good.
Yeah, maybe it might slip through. But one thing I do like is this Tusk as an answer to the Shaman. It's something we've seen a little bit of before as a response. You know, it's quite nice if you're being shackled for 10 hours straight and then all of a sudden this Tusk rolls up and said, hey, buddy, want to get inside my snowball? And you're like, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you very much. And then you go and you kill the guy
let's
instead.
go in the snowball and chill inside.
Yeah, a little bit of snowball and chill with Tusk. I think we all want a bit of that. Meanwhile, the IO and the Weaver actually banned out by LGD. We see this a little bit as well. We picked the hero, didn't really work out for us. Let's just ban it so no one has to play it this time around.
Yeah. Pretty decent ban for them. Decent laner that would come for Vici Gaming together with the Phoenix. Phoenix's one weakness was always the laning stage. He's not really that great, especially with the nerfs to Fire Spirits. But if you combo him with a carry that doesn't need as much.
Like had what was his talent? Like it was like
plus 50 on Fire Spirits level 15. I know I'm a Phoenix spammer.
I think it was even higher.
More 80
I think it was like
maybe.
80. I think it was 80.
And, so literally, I used to play Phoenix offlane. The moment you get level 5, you would be able to kill off a support with dive and 1 set of Fire Spirits. It was.
I remember that.
He was pretty busted.
Pretty cool hero.
He was pretty busted. I still love Phoenix though. It's just a fun hero to play overall.
Yeah, I think it's the hero with the most level 25s in the master tier heroes.
Yeah, there's a lot of Phoenix spammers out there as well.
Really is. It feels like a weird one to me, you know, when you compare. I think Pango's in second place, which kind of makes more sense to me. You know, Pango, always good, always fun.
It's just that they're fun. That's the main reason, right?
I haven't really played much Phoenix, but I don't really see the heroes being fun, but I don't know.
Phoenix not fun?
No.
Come on.
What do you mean? Like, you can always do stuff. Like, these type of heroes, like Phoenix, Pango, who can move around the map, get stuff done. It's always going to be something different instead of like this.
Slap, though. Like, you know.
Yeah, but these sluggish heroes, like, let's say, a
Vorlon.
Drow Ranger. Wow, you're hitting creeps. Good job. You're applying some right clicks. And then
Phoenix, you're always thinking about where to position that tag. You can always improve on the Fire Spirit, Sun Ray.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, that's fair enough. What's the most psychotic hero to be level 25 at? Not Techies. Obviously, Techies is the easy answer here. I think Warlock would be pretty weird.
Yeah, Warlock, probably these kind of heroes. But even Warlock, at least you have that ulti, but it's not great.
Yeah.
I'm not good. I've seen someone's mom reached level 30 Warlock first in CIS.
That's some kind of meme or
no,
what?
there was a Reddit thread.
Your mom's a level 30 Warlock.
Maybe I read something wrong, but there was a guy he posted, my mom is the first level 30 Warlock. Okay, bro.
I think you got baited, listeners.
Maybe I did. Maybe.
Why can't mothers play? Maybe it's time we get
Exactly.
mothers into this. We're looking for new demographics. you know?
Probably there was some sort of a bait there, but
You know,
Gamers out
level
there?
30 Warlock, that's child neglecting, right?
exactly.
Please, mother, feed us. Got to drop
Shadow
rock.
word.
Okay, they go with Raid King
This
into
is more standard.
Beastmaster, you know, but bit problematic until you get that shard off, the mana burn. Like Beastmaster Tusk is an extremely strong lane, tag team, a lot of slow. They need a hero that can lane into Troll. We've seen a lot of like Death Prophet, the Raid Kings, like combinations, not in the lane, but Death
Overall
Prophet,
is very
yeah,
strong.
but Death Prophet like feels really good to have on the offlane against that Troll, who's like one of the strongest laners in Dota right now.
I love these drafts. So far, both of these teams have really strong drafts. Let's see the Vici Gaming's fourth pick, but Grimstroke now you have the double roar with Tusk. It's extremely potent because you have that Inkswell into roll. So overall, just nice from Vici Gaming. It's not that easy to pick an offlaner. Like Lacoste said, that Prophet is nice, but
yeah,
it's
like,
not
I
easy
think
to pick something versus Troll.
something like Dead Prophet, probably Bristleback comes as an option. Maybe even a Dragonite, something like super tanky. But then again, playing into Tusk, you never feel safe. Like tag team just destroy all of these like super tanky heroes. You bring the numbers, especially with the Beastmaster.
But
Bad rider.
it's not great as well. Like even this Batrider, it's all right. You can't save obviously with Snowball from him, but
Yeah.
overall, you can fly over the ice shards, which is nice. But Troll, Grimstroke, they should be fine there. Bat has been nerfed in a significant way, and Troll never was a pushover even for a Batrider because he just hits too hard.
I'm wondering if we're going to see... Well, no, I'm not wondering. I think we're going to see the Shard this game on this Bat Rider.
Shard,
thoughts?
for
Shard,
sure,
yeah.
especially against like Beastmaster and Grimstroke combination, where you want to like save people, because right now like they don't have the real save. They have some like sustain coming out from the Phoenix, but it's also very interruptible by their heroes. Like you have Snowball, you have Beastmaster Roar, you have the like silence, the stun coming out from the Grimstroke. Just a lot of stuff. Like I like what the PSG.LGD have right now.
Same, I have to completely agree. With the Batrider coming as fourth pick and Grimstroke from PSG.LGD just look way more well-rounded than you can see it in the draft analysis here as well. What's missing for Vici Gaming, Roche damage right now is severely lacking, it looks like. Just it's
Roche
true,
tower
really.
damage, that's... I mean, I don't know, they do have the Wraith King already. I guess maybe from their mid laner they can help out with that, but I'm not super worried when you've got the Wraith King. He can cover those bases.
I'm just following the narrative here. I see the draft analysis.
Now
and
you
I'm
see like one
We're
graph
swapping
lacking
roles here this
50%
time.
of the colors. Like I'll just go with that one.
I'll just go with what doesn't have any colors exactly, nothing more.
I mean, they have some like Roche taking potential, like with the Shaman wards, like that brings you enough Roche and the tower damage. So
the Skellies and Fire Spirits, there's something there. Kunkka banned out by PSG.LGD, also SF, that's been played quite a bit. And on the other hand, Vici Gaming with the Invoker and the Ember Spirit. Now, this Kunkka ban is very interesting. They needed some catch, but they already had it. It's just a very peculiar why they banned
I just
Kunkka.
want to see Dead Prophet.
Dead
from
Prophet
Vici
for-
Gaming. Like either on the off lane, either on the mid lane. Like I don't think PSG.LGD here is gonna flex anything. Like they just need straight up mid laner. And Shadowfiend is banned out. Like we've seen Shadowfiend like being as a counter to Dead Prophet.
Yeah.
We go with the Storm again. Easier Storm game than last game or harder Storm game than
Harder.
last game? Yeah.
Definitely harder, yeah.
Into
That's
Roar, into Leash mechanics, Silence from Grimstroke could struggle.
Yeah.
Is going to struggle, definitely, much
yeah.
more than in the previous one.
And if the Troll gets on top of you, you've got issues there as well. Is there any mid hero which you could just be seeing absolutely devastation from LGD here?
Not maybe not devastation, like
Could you that profit for PSG.LGD
Could,
as well?
like, Dead Prophet, like even Dragonite sounds fine. The double stun in the Grimstroke ulti.
Dragonite loses the lane versus Storm a bit more now than before, but still sounds all right. Yeah.
Yeah, Storm like just feels so good in like so many matchups, especially against the melee heroes.
Give me Leshrac. I don't know why, I just feel like Leshrac sounds fun.
A safe bet. That's what Lash is, if nothing else. Like that Prophet Lash, these heroes that give you objective taking, that Prophet.
Yeah,
there you go.
for the DP.
We talked about her, and also PSG.LGD banned out ESF. So I was surprised that Vici Gaming didn't snatch that away.
Yeah, I think they could have gone for Dead
Yeah,
Prophet.
they definitely could have.
Would have loved to have that Prophet on Vici Gaming side. I'm signing with the PSG.LGD here. I think like they have a good Grimstroke combination. Vision game top lane should be tough for Wraith King. Like it's a Wraith King Phoenix. This lane is not strong. Phoenix 5 doesn't provide that much in the laning stage against Tusk and a Beastmaster. Like this is a killer lane. Like you step one step too close to the creep wave, tag team plus a boar will just kill you.
And on top of that, it's not like they have a good off lane. Like, Grimstroke and Troll should be able to hold on themselves like very easily, and because of that, PSG.LGD as well.
All right, both of you guys going for PSG.LGD, and I think I got to agree. It doesn't look like the free Storm game we've had before, and whilst it is PYW Shaman. It is PYW Shaman. Hey, you know what? I'm not betting against PYW Shaman. I'm not an idiot. I'm going for Vici Gaming. That's the direction I'm going to go. And let's throw it over to our cast and find out what they have to say about this one as we get into the grand finale. Game number 3 of Vici Game versus LGD. Guys, what are we thinking?
You want me to go first? Yeah, you remember when I said I wasn't going to listen to you guys, the analysts? Forget I said that. Going LGD.
Okay.
And that's all I got.
Thank you.
Same.
Thank you.
See?
Cool.
Very right on cue.
Damn, we're quick today. We're quick today. That's all the predictions out of the way. 4 going for LGD, 1 going for Vici Gaming. So I'll ask once more, what needs to go right for Vici Gaming for them to win this game in your guys' opinion?
Yeah, the cost.
I'm just thinking, how do they shut down their heroes? Well, Wraith King, you know, he usually gets the farm, even if he's in the jungle, but I still feel afraid that, like, his second life's not going to be enough against what PSG.LGD has. Like, you respawn into Dead Prophet ulti, into Beastmaster, Necro Warriors. I just don't think it's enough.
They have really strong timings, though, right? With the Radiance and with the Storm Orchid. Or
Black is cheating, by the way. He's looking at the screen because he forgot what which lineup teams have.
How are you calling out for that? You do it every time.
Because I'm doing that every time, I know.
Well, we are into the game, as Black can see right now. So let's get into it. Game number 3. B Cup and Black, take it away for the last game.
Yeah, thank you, Nomad. Coming in, game number 3. Ready to go. I'm excited. This is a big one. This is probably the biggest game we're going to see in the DPC, or will have seen.
Shaman!
Oh, PYW! Getting caught, tag team Hex.
That's what you get for listening to Nomad.
Stroke of Fate, and PYW's gone.
I'm not betting against PYW. First Blood.
And here he is feeding First Blood.
Yeah.
The arrow. There is no Moran in this game. I can't say that anymore.
The Ice Shards!
I could do that. I think I could do that.
They're all just sitting in the middle getting hit by the tower. What is happening?
Yeah, all right.
Second tower hit.
30 seconds.
Okay, let me be completely honest with you though.
Okay.
If VG had LGD's draft, I would say VG 100% wins this game. But
wow. So wait, are you not going 100% LGD?
I mean, I still chose them to win this game, of course, but I think they're gonna. They just generally make more mistakes. PYW again.
Is he gonna give up 2 kills before the horn? Like, this is insane. He's died twice already.
That's tip worthy. Somebody's gonna tip him now.
I'll do it. Hold on.
Okay, do it.
I wish I could. But that would be.
What I wanted to
some
say
tips.
was,
Yeah, go
before
for it.
that happened, that generally LGD seemed to be making some more mistakes throughout the game.
I'd agree.
And a lineup with a DP is usually like pretty dependent on playing well. You know, like you can't waste Exorcism, you can't misuse Exorcism. But still, the Storm versus DP matchup is terrible for Storm. One of the worst matchups in the game for him.
Yeah, so it's not looking like it's going to be the same doesn't miss a creep, Orchid quick kind of Storm game.
It's going to be a tough Storm game for sure. They have Silence for him, they have Raw for him, they have another Silence for him, they have Roots for him. And also the Tusk Snowball as well as Punch.
I think I get worried about the Wraith King too, right? Necro 3, mana's gone, all of a sudden you can't reincarnate.
Yeah, and this Troll versus Wraith King matchup is actually not bad for Troll. Like, you can kill him quickly and twice.
There used to be a time where we would see Diffusal a lot on Trolls, right?
Yeah, which was when Battle Fury was still in a worse spot. Got buffed after that patch. Ever since then, the only time you really see Diffusal Troll is like if it's a mid-roll.
I mean, I'd like to see it, but I don't think it's going to get built here. Doesn't
It's too
feel
risky.
like one of those kind of items for Troll anymore. In these, even in the matchup where like the mana burn would be nice, but
Yeah, no, it's a really good item. It's just too risky to build. Like, you lose 1-5 with that build, suddenly you're behind in gold. It's never what you want as a Troll.
so mid you could already see Ori is 12-1, 7-0 right now for nothing to say, but forced to buy out on some regen and get that salve, see if it might affect him at all in terms of building up that net worth, slow him down a little bit.
It's only gonna get worse for him as the levels go up. DP is just an insanely strong lane in this patch.
Feels like this hero is definitely top 10 for sure.
Easily. Easily.
Maybe even top 5.
Yeah, I would probably put him in the top 5.
Because it's still a versatile hero, too.
I mean, I don't want to say anything, but I will. He starts with 335 movement speed. No boots, nothing. That is insane.
It's a lot of speed.
Yeah.
That could be knocked out by like 20.
Probably,
still
yeah.
be
And
good.
still be good, yeah.
They're going to go. We fire a blast on the Jinkyu, but immediately a snowball over. Already a 1k net worth lead for LGD.
Yeah, those 2 kills, of course, doing a lot regarding that. But Troll in general, he will just free farm in this lane. Like, Troll Grimstroke is a very powerful lane. Bad Rider will struggle.
Okay.
Might actually be in trouble here. A root first hit.
Yeah, they're
Inks
going to
well.
go and get this kill onto Poyoyo. Jinkyu now his 2nd kill of the game.
They went top at the same time. Timely flame break saved his life. But yeah, now Wraith King is also struggling.
So now you got 2 lanes that really don't feel too great. You've got this empty bottle now on Ori. We'll see who controls the rune. If anybody rotates in, you usually see like Shadow Shaman come in.
Yeah, let's hope it's not like a region rune or something like that.
Because that turns the lane. Innocence with the Ink Swell getting the stun onto Old 11, but PYW's coming over. Well, Stroke of Fate doesn't land on the Old 11, but it does hit PYW.
That means rune control going 100% to LGD. Double damage rune. Now this is also a lane breaking rune. Especially in here like DP. Suddenly just hit for 170. And he uses it right away just to get the CS and level advantage.
Yeah. That regen could have been really a problem if it was a regen for Ori, but double damage definitely benefits nothing to say. Of course, he picked it up and should be able to, like you said, pick up an advantage and start to grow that lead a little bit. With each level, it gets a little bit harder for Ori.
Yeah. Admittedly, Ori is doing a lot better than I thought he would. This matchup is really not easy for Storm. Like, reaching level 6 can sometimes be a big problem in this matchup. But he's almost there already. Halfway through level 6, or level 5 rather. Wraith King, as the panel already said, usually gets his farm anyways. He'll have to go to jungle eventually, but...
But that's the thing, like, he goes to jungle, Poyoyo goes to jungle, then Faithion gets an open lane. You've already got someone who I would say also finds their farm in a Beastmaster. If he's quick into the Necro books, like, that's a massive problem.
He'll already have it in 400 gold. At least the first level of it.
So, like, that becomes an issue, and with each level on the book, it gets worse.
Certainly. Like, Beastmasters are here that can take over the map and will, if he's given the chance to. DP is now level 6. Both supports are in the mid lane.
3v3 over mid.
Storm needs one more creep. for his 6.
In over on to a fight. Crypt Swarm action. Everybody looking to deny that range creep. And now shards are out. That blocks up Ori for a second. He's not working with a lot of mana. Does have that level 6 for the ball lightning. Exorcism gets used. Backs up to refill the bottle for an invis rune. But now no siege creep.
Yeah, he used Exorcism as soon as he was shard blocked, but he actually reached level 6 just as he popped it. So can't get the kill on the Storm Spirit there. And the supports are obviously already there in position, so this ult won't deal too much damage. And we said sometimes a
Ooh,
way
they do get the shard block on a PYW. They'll go with the snowball. Nothing to say, though, about how half health. He needs to be careful. They'll finish off the Shadow Shaman. Icarus dive over, and it looks like Vici want at least something out of this. Nothing to say, getting a little low, but he's got that invis rune that he picked up while the Exorcism was going, so he's safe to get out. They don't get the tier 1 tower. They do get another kill on a PYW, but ultimately not awful for Vici.
Not awful, but they did have to commit 3 heroes worth of resources in the mid lane. And the tower is still half health, so next Exorcism might just get the tower. Beastmaster picked up his Necros, now applying the pressure to the bot lane. And if they don't respond, this tower is going to fall very soon. Wraith King kept his skill point, just in case, to skill his ult as well.
Might get tough, though.
I do hope he is not going to go for the Midas he has queued up right now. Like, it's going to be quite a late Midas, and it will delay your strong Radiance timing even further.
And if you're delaying your Radiance timing, that means you're delaying potentially your Shard timing, which feels like it might be a necessity in this game.
Definitely can, yeah, like a Midas can definitely slow his game down tremendously. At the same time, it can also accelerate it. It's just every death you get from that point on is going to be so costly. DP picking up an Illusion Rune bottom. Exorcism up in 15. Bad Rider top. No Lasso, didn't even skill it. So he doesn't have to be afraid on a Troll. It's always a bit hard to play against Troll when you're a Bad Rider. Because, of course, his ult is a soft dispel. That means Battle Trance will dispel all the sticky napalm charges. Which then just leads into a usually pretty easy turnaround kill.
We'll see how quick the Battle Fury is for Ame, right? Like that was pretty slow come that first game.
Second game, you mean?
Second game.
Yeah. First game, his Troll actually had a really fast Battle Fury. And he went phase boot first. So it's going to be a little bit slower. And they're just going to take bot tower with the Necros as well as Exorcism.
So second Exorcism gets the tier 1 gun, which is closing the map for the Wraith King, who's going into the Midas.
Yeah, as I said, not a big fan. Like, it's already quite late for this Midas. Usually what I aim for when I play Wraith King is about a minute 7, 7.5 maybe. And at this rate, he's going to get it at like minute 10, maybe a little bit later even, which is considered quite late.
That's where I look to get my Midas. 10 minutes. My farming not so good.
Yet, you will learn soon.
I am learning. It's also on an ancient apparition normally, so.
So usually you don't want to build a Midas anyway.
Yeah.
So you're griefing.
Used to. DUI, bottom, just trying to find anything out of the map right now where he can get to level 6 at a decent mark.
Yeah, we can already see the Storm struggling quite a bit, sitting at 3.6k net worth only. Last game, at this point, he almost had his Orc completed. Now, not even one component.
Because that's what let him really jump off the diving board into just success, was having that quick Orchid and realistically shutting down everything LGD had in terms of hope of winning this game, or winning the second game.
Yeah, it's a completely different game now. They have way more ways to also lock him down. So you can't just jump in and be fearless. You actually have to respect this Dire lineup quite a bit.
Ooh, Primal Roar used on to Old 11. They've got the Phantom's Embrace with an Ace. Well, can they keep up with him? They should be able to, so yeah, that'll be a kill there.
Ward trap though.
Serpent wards, trapping Faith. Fiona gets out of them pretty quickly.
The Egg Or's in a bad position.
Behind them where they were running to, so they're going to take out the Supernova. They've got the Shackle onto the Tusk. It's a 2-for-1. I think Jinkyu goes in, stops them from making sure that they can defend the egg a little bit. If he gets in their face, those 3 heroes that are backing out definitely take out the egg. No fear in that.
Yeah. Overall, still a good move. If you die on the enemy side of the map, usually that can't translate into any sort of objective. So now everybody's alive again. And yeah, that egg was definitely in a very, let's call it optimistic position.
I think the thought process must have been putting the egg behind them and having a more chaotic engagement.
Yep.
But the heroes weren't there.
Then it wasn't chaotic at all. Instead, it was just the
defended.
Friday
Yeah.
rolling in on Shadow Shaman, punch, and
BYW just not finding much of anything this game. It has been a struggle. He died 2 times before
It's
we even hit the
0-4.
0-second mark.
Yeah, it's 0-4. It's very rare to see a player of his caliber struggle. Like usually he's the backbone of this VG lineup. This game he's struggling a lot.
Yeah.
0-4-1, didn't really manage to find many rotations at all. Granted, VG only has 1 kill in total, and he's part of that at least.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Another mid tower, or rather mid tower gone now. Exorcism expended. Dual Scepter already online on the DP. Now this game gets really hard for the Storm. Arcane Rune also for the next DP ult.
Well, that Orchid's not going to feel nearly as strong.
Not only that, but also it's an easy setup onto the Storm Spirit. You get silenced after the ult, you're dead. Now they have DP silence, Grimstroke silence, Roar. There's just so many ways of locking down a Storm. He's gonna be incredibly scared. Like no matter what items he has this game, he's at risk of dying.
You know, even with the BKB, it's not going to feel...
There's the Roar
like
Grim ult.
Yeah, it's not going to feel like you can make your way out. They go after Old 11 again. They've got the silence placed by Nothing to Say. They just don't have the damage to finish him off. Using that Firefly to just kind of get out of range.
DP, still level 10. Would love to be level 12 before she pops the next Exorcism. But at least she has the Arcane Rune. So you don't feel bad about popping it. Level 3 Necro Warriors now online. That means they can be used for dewarding. Beastmaster with this item is very scary. PYW running straight into the Tusk here.
Oh, again, the same spot where
might just be
LG
dead again.
just were, and PYW, he'll try to go to the ward trap. They've got themselves the ball lightning into the vortex. They already got the kill into the Shadow Shaman, and they're already out of the ward trap. So they'll come over, look for Ori, who doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. Supernova, that's going to push back
That's
LGD.
a good egg.
It's a defensive Primal Roar. Not really the best fight here from LGD. Vici playing around this quite well. Snowball only seemingly extending the inevitable, but that's a 3-man silence, and now they go after Ori. Jinkyu moving in, he doesn't have the damage, and he's just slowed up too much. They cannot get that kill into the Storm, and it's unfortunate for LGD, but very fortunate for Vici as they moved around that fight. And I would say ultimately come out ahead a little bit. Just a bit, though.
It was good for VG because it was a 3v5 basically, without Exorcism as well. Grimstroke wasn't part of the fight, and neither was Troll. Troll finishes Battle Fury, just continues to scale. But you know, even though it was a 3v5, they still got a kill. Still made sure that Storm had to go to base, so they're scaling. You can see the gold didn't drop at all, simply because Troll was farming efficiently and Grimstroke was farming as well. Whereas VG had to bring the entire lineup.
Just for that fight right there, I was surprised at the defensive Primal Roar. I would say Faith Beyond, normally someone who might hold that and go and fight. That's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Normally someone who might hold that and go and fight again, but if he knows that they're not going to be fighting during that cooldown time, that's fine, right?
Yeah, it's fine. And at this rate, they also just might wait for the level 12 DP. Because the level 2 Exorcism, of course, double as strong as the level 1.
So 3k lead, Necro 3, and it gets really difficult now for the Wraith King, the Storm. There's so much here for LGD in terms of not only pushing but fighting. Like, they've checked a lot of boxes.
Yeah, it's a very strong draft. This is why we also chose them. So even if VG is ahead, it's not an easy game. Like, DP is a hero that can really own Wraith King.
Yeah, Poyoyo, meanwhile,
rich.
it's close to the rally.
Yep. It's definitely getting the net worth up there.
Still 1,000 net worth, though, behind the Troll, who does have that Battle Fury going into the Sanjin Yasha. So Ame trying to do what he can. They've got the snowball as well as the walrus punch.
PYW
Hex
again.
onto Jingyu. PYW getting bullied in this game. He is now 0-6.
Good ice shards.
DY. And he tries to Sunray
And he's
out,
dead.
but they've got the Phantom's Embrace. They will stop that, and Jingyu will get one. And they're going to get this tier 2. That opens up this outpost. And at 16 minutes, that means you're probably not getting the experience boost at the 20-minute mark if you're Vici.
Unless you can win a team fight, yeah.
Yeah.
Yule's up on the Bad Rider. Exorcism as well.
They've got the silence. You already got the Firefly off, though. So they need to get right up on top of him, which they will. And with the Walrus Punch, Jingyu will get another kill in this situation. And LGD are just overwhelming Vici. We saw LGD play good in game, but they had some sloppy plays. Then game 2, they kind of get beat real hard. Draft was so much better from Vici for that one. Here in game 3, LGD looked pretty flawless so far.
Yeah, and pretty immortal now that they just pick up on the troll. It's the reversed roles, really. Like, VG in game 2 just kind of ran them over because they couldn't fight.
Right.
On the LGD side. But this game, LGD's heroes just don't allow the Storm to really team fight, don't allow the Shadow Shaman to team fight. Same with Bad Rider, Phoenix. These heroes are usually very strong. It's just they have so many answers to all the problems that VG can throw at them. But at least with the Radiance that's up in 150 gold, they will have a very strong Wraith King timing.
Yeah. And I'm a little surprised. That's the one thing I'll say about LGD is they lose Innocence here. I'm surprised that they've let Poyoyo just kind of have this space. This is not what I was expecting when they took him out of the lane, when they took the tower, when they were able to invade the jungle. They had all these opportunities, all these options to make plays here, and now it doesn't feel nearly as strong. And by the way, Ori, who is going for that Orchid, goes to Yules instead.
Yeah, makes much more sense. Orchid is not going to do anything this game, so he's just choosing to go on a more defensive route. And he's going straight into an Aghanim Scepter, actually, after this Kaya.
Sunray, top. Ward Trap again, and Ame, he's going to lose.
They still have Lasso.
Pretty quick. Supernova, and he's trying to run away. Stunned up. Vortex then killed twice.
It's kind of a repeat of what we've seen in game 1. Ame is just out of position.
Now they've got
another Lasso on Tusk.
This is 2 kills here for Vici. All of a sudden, they've turned it on. That was so well done by Vici. The Battle Trance doesn't even go off for Ame. He never has an opportunity to get anything done in that Aegis that was picked up just a second ago, is immediately wiped off.
Yeah, and he just died right away. I mean, good recognition from VG there. They have the strong timing with the Radiance, so they actually want to take that fight, but Ame just hands it to him just so easily, you know? Like, he has to be with his team, for sure. Like, he is the driving force behind this pushing lineup that they have, and he just needs to have the support of the team, otherwise this happens.
Hex on the Beastmaster, but they've got the Phantom's Embrace with Inkswell. PYW,
goodbye.
I think he's happy to be bullied if, well, the Vici start making a comeback happen.
Yeah. Next fight is not going to be as easy. Arcane Rune, Exorcism. This DP is the strongest hero on the map right now. You don't want to fight into that. If they can't find a good initiation, which they can't because they don't have Lasso, they might just give up another tier 2 tower.
Buys out on the full BKB.
Also, they did reclaim the outpost. So unless Daya takes it back,
that way?
they want to take the mid tower first with the Exorcism.
So they're not going to stop that outpost.
I mean, Troll is right there. He might be able to take it.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Jingyu going over that way.
Yeah. Old 11 is around in the vicinity. Oh my god, he's playing with fire. Literally. Haha.
We're on the same wavelength. Blink Dagger picked up for Faith Beyond. He's got that Blink.
They have water on him.
Up in 2 seconds, and
can't reach him.
Old 11 just out of sight.
No, 6k gold lead turned into 2k. This Wraith King is getting very strong. Storm also getting quite farmed.
Yeah, and he's going again to that Ags early.
Again, to protect the egg.
Yeah.
It's just so scary to fight into an egg when you know that he has an Aghanim Scepter on that Storm Spirit. Bad Rider on his way to BKB. I can't believe VG is always clawing their way back into these kind of games.
They're really strong. I mean, that's... When they played LBZS, they were down, what, 40K?
He might get a Yours off here. Like, he's gonna... no
Blink.
vision.
And yeah, no vision.
Well played there.
Dire's top tower is under
Old
attack.
11.
It was, I'm pretty sure, against LBZS. We were like, oh my god, they're about to upset Vici, and then Vici down 30-something.
Yeah, but again, it was LBCS, exactly. Like, I didn't expect it to happen against these high, super good caliber teams, you know?
True.
To be fair, LGD is probably considered middle of the pack right now.
Yeah,
But
at
they're
the
not
same
bad
time,
at
they're not bad, and the
Dire's
series they
middle tower
have
is under
lost
attack.
have been 3-game sets that have all had a game of chaos in them that they ended up, you know, it's one of those 50-50 toss-up, 50-plus minute games that they just haven't been able to take advantage of. Actually, the first one they were able to take advantage of was the first game,
Yeah.
which might be the difference maker.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Because you look at that game, and that could have easily made this a 2-0 for Vici.
Definitely. It was a very close game. But here in this game, they're still in the driver's seat on LGD.
PYW
again.
Walrus Punch, the knockout.
Just got his blink delivered. Unfortunately, took damage just as it dropped onto his hero. 0-8. Not something we ever really see from him. Another Arcane Rune. Wow.
Still a decent amount of net worth, being 0-8.
Yeah. He's doing well for himself, for sure.
Ooh, Ball Lightning towards the back and looking for the control onto the Beastmaster. He gets stunned up by a Wraithfire Blast, and Faith Beyond gets the Primal Roar off. The Inkswell's on him. Now the Soulbind, that connects this Storm onto the Wraith King. They get the kill on Ori. They'll take the first life out of the hands of this Wraith King of Poyoyo, who's back alive, looking over. Lasso on and nothing to say, and he's got nothing to give.
Troll used ult
because he
too?
is gone. Ooh, Stroke of Fate hit 4 heroes.
Okay, Troll does not run in there like a maniac, even though he used ult. Lucky that the wards were there. Yeah, I mean, that fight I thought would go a lot worse for the Radiant side. The DP used BKB very preemptively. And then just post BKB, Wraith King revives from that ultimate, of course, and just takes out a DP, no problem. They're really very trigger happy on this LGD side with their BKBs.
Yeah.
Both nothing to say as well as Army. They love to use their spells right away. Oh, good catch here.
If they can get the kill in old 11, this will feel nice. Ame gets
Well
it.
done by him. Well done by Shinkyu.
He's been really doing well. 6-3-5. This Tusk has been his go-to. Game 1, Game 3, looking good.
Yeah, see if he gets another Moonshot 25.
Maybe this game might last that long. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I'm expecting whether they win or lose this game, that Xiao 8 is gonna be like, guys, patience, BKB. You know,
Relax. You
relax. Yes, breathe.
Know, hold it.
Because this has really been the bane of them in game 1 as well. They still ended up winning that one, of course, but the only reason it got so close is because they were playing that, what's a nice word for that?
Over-aggressive.
Over-aggressive.
Ooh, Blink. Now Snowball the other direction.
Can't quite catch him.
DUI. Oh, the dive
The
bomb!
dive bomb from the...
That's like the first time I've seen it do something like that. That was amazing.
I didn't even realize he had it.
Now they've got the Walrus Punch, and they will get the kill here on a DUI.
It's so goofy.
Just slam down on him.
Oh, another dive bomb on the Old 11.
Ooh, they might get another kill here, but the Ward Trap, Faith Beyond trying to hit out of it. He's been hexed up. Look at the damage coming through onto Faith Beyond, and he's gone. First life out of the hands of this Wraith King, but PYW dead. For
Silenced up on Storm.
Silence out of the Storm. They'll get the kill on Ori. 4 heroes dead with the first life gone from Poyoyo. And now Ame wants to chase.
Why? Okay, this Beastmaster's owning so hard right now. Damn.
He's doing so much.
He forced out another BKB just with the Necro Creep that he split off from his other units. It's actually insane. The only reason this fight started is because the dive bomb on the Bad Rider allowed him to blink in and roar him.
That's amazing.
Faith Bjorn showing here why he is a TI winner. He's good at the game. Would have thought. No, but seriously, like the last 2 minutes, all Faith Bjorn.
Yeah. All Hawks.
He's owning. See that kill here again on the Phoenix. And then the setup with a dive bomb here. So good.
Oh.
Look at the Bad Rider. Bomb. Caught him with the dive bomb.
Ooh, Lasso coming in. And now
Onto
they've got
the
the Hex
DP.
on nothing to say, but the snowball
has BKB.
save. This is also into the Supernova, so pop the BKB. They'll go to the
The
right.
egg,
They're
the egg,
trying to
the
get
egg.
I don't think it's going to be in time.
Oh!
It goes off on the last hit. So close. Jinkyu drops now. BKB's been popped by Ame. He needs to run. That leaves Faith Beyond a dive. BKBs are not available on the Death Prophet or the Troll, and yet they're staying like they might want to fight. They've got the Hex on and nothing to say, followed up with a Raid Fire Blast from Poyoyo, who pops his own BKB, Yule's into the air, PYW dead. They get the first off out of the hands of Poyoyo, and now they're looking to continue to go in. Poyoyo might be in too deep.
No BKB!
To the kill. How did LGD just get away with that?
Buyback usage. Very good buyback usage there from LGD. Phoenix, and make it out? Yes. They dive so deep. Oh my god, Bad Rider's still in trouble.
Caught. And now Jinkyu's in, and he's got another kill.
It was a good buyback here from Shinkyu. Roshan now up as well. And I can't believe Wraith King used BKB while getting clobbered by the Troll ult. A lot of misused BKBs this game. This time, LGD comes out ahead of it though. Troll used BKB to start hitting the Phoenix egg, which then just barely survived. This game is like a game of inches.
Yeah. I was so surprised that OGD stayed by because they didn't have the BKB on the Death Prophet.
They baited
didn't
them.
have a BKB on the Troll. And then it's, like you said, the buyback usage is right by a tier 2 tower that allows them
So
to come
good.
back in.
Yeah. Shinkyu with the buyback there, turning the fight around, no problem. And Wraith King is not very tanky yet. He just got his plate mail from the courier. Before he didn't have that, he was just sitting at like 11 armor, which is nothing.
And I want to say Shinkyu is putting the game on his back right now. He's done a lot.
Or on his fist, however you want to
Yeah.
call it. Troll now. Oh, he's going Abyssal this game, and he almost has it. This is what I wanted to see in game 1. This is where you will see this Troll shine. Like, you Abyssal a guy, you ult, he's dead. There's nothing you can do to save him.
And a little bit.
Yep, still has it Aegis as well. Just picked it up, of course.
And he's just short the gold. A little bit.
Yep, still has it Aegis as well. Just picked it up, of course. So with this Aegis, I think they're going to look to just take all the outer towers, contain them in the base, get more rich, get more ahead, then ultimately end out the game.
Ink Swell, Primal Roar, and they've got the silence.
Gone.
Ooh, 4-step, but not enough.
Another Arcane Rune.
Tower is under
Dude,
attack.
nothing to say, is insane. First game he had like 10 DDs, now it's like 10 Arcane Runes. Yeah. How much?
Whatever benefits him most.
What kind of Gaben tax did he pay? The most expensive one.
Take a look at his battle pass levels.
He wasn't
Oh,
up
old
in the high
11?
thousands.
Okay. They're just going to come in and I think he first hit Bash on that.
He had Abyssal anyways,
Yeah,
so
but
whatever. Yeah.
it feels even worse when you get first hit Bash.
I mean, you always gotta try. Like, you click on him, you see 2 seconds TP, you're gonna whack him first before you Abyssal him. Yeah. You always gotta try. It leaves some mental damage, you know?
Yeah, it's just the extra insult into injury when you just are able to first hit Bash like
And
that.
just the sound clop. Boom.
That's the sound of I'm not getting out.
Yeah, that's the sound of, yeah, I wish I TP'd out earlier. He's bad, man.
So,
Wraith King?
by the way, Innocence has Axe.
He does.
I completely
He is rich.
just missed the fact that he's got 9k net worth.
Yeah, how did that happen?
Radiant's
5,
middle tower
2, and 12? I guess that's how. Arcane Rune, Exorcism Pop. Might even want to try to threaten.
Right?
Dark Portrait
Oh,
out.
There's the Dark Portrait coming in and doing a lot of damage.
They
And
have
it's
Raw.
just
They have
standing
Raw.
there. They do have the Abyssal Blade with the Primal Roar.
No buyback.
75 seconds without Poyoyo. Oh, no.
PY also dead without buyback. This game might just be over suddenly.
Yeah. No buyback on Poyoyo. And this is at least the center axe.
Suddenly the game's just broken wide open. I think they're just going to commit for bottom as well. They still have Aegis for quite a while. Exorcism runs out, but they don't need it at this point.
Well, he's got Arcane Rune, right?
He
So
does.
it should be up soon.
Yeah, in about a minute or so.
Radiant's
But they
middle
don't even need it.
has fallen.
They will not need it, and I don't think they can fight here on Radiant. Sunray will deter them a little bit, but they should be running in straight away again.
They've got 30 seconds, and he didn't buy back on the mid-racks. You got to assume he's not buying back for the bottom.
Yeah. Getting, like, if you die right in front of your base without buyback on a level 20 hero, you're always going to lose buildings.
They're going to try and make a play, though. They've got 15 seconds until the Wraith King's up. They're smoked behind Ame, though.
Desperate.
Both teams are smoked, and this is looking like a desperation play while Old 11 is top. So you can't really take that fight 3v5.
Yeah, they're smoking while the Bad Riders are being top. Maybe like a slight disconnect, I'm not sure. But they can't fight without the Wraith King anyways. And LGD is just sticking together. Exorcism is going to be up in like 20 again.
Stupendous.
This is really tough.
This game is going to be brutal.
And, I mean, there's a way back in for sure, but...
They need to win like 2 or 3 good team fights. Storm got caught out. Oh, he saw him just on the edge. He got the Yules off somehow.
Storm Yules himself up into the air, but this is a problem with the Abyssal Blade.
What was the Yules range? That was insane, man. Cast range, Talon. Represent.
Going through backdoor.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower.
And there is no back to protection right now. There's creeps bottom, pushing in already. That might just be mega creeps. They have to commit for the fight here. Storm
They're going
has
to need to
buyback.
buy back, but there's the back door. They've got themselves the lasso. The lasso's used onto the Wraith King, so that's going to be a 20-second cooldown. They've seen this combo before. They'll go after PYW. They get the kill once again, and now they've got the Soulbind onto the Wraith King as well as the Bat Rider. So Bat Rider finding some trouble trying to jump into this one, but he's got the Electric Vortex. Ooh, does he have the damage? Ame getting low, and now he's got
Aegis ran out.
Turn it around. Aegis does run out, so he needs to really get out of dodge, but they're going to have the lasso once again that hits on a Jinku. They'll try to get this kill at least onto the Tusk as he'll snowball and
Wraith King
move
in the back
forward.
line.
But Wraith King loses that first life, and man, it's all for this Tusk. He's dead for 100 seconds, but that's all you get.
He saved his troll, basically. Like, Aegis ran out while he used Beacon. He had like 100 health. One more Wraith King attack would have killed him, but Xinkyu doing a very good job there, blocking people the shards, keeping him there with the tag team as well, punching them, getting all the attention on himself. That could have turned out real bad if this troll
The timing
dies.
was almost off. With the Aegis running out and him having a sliver of health.
And it feels like a Bad Rider was not aware. I wasn't aware that troll was level 25. He dispelled the lasso with the troll ult. Couldn't quite get him into the fountain that way.
He's got that shard to work with for the Bat Rider.
Yeah. DP.
And the axe. So obviously he's getting that double lasso. Could get the double
We have seen this thing before.
ally enemy lasso. That's 20-second cooldown.
Yeah. See how impactful it is this game. He has a shot as well, yeah. Who's like the best setup for that this game? Not the Wraith King. Maybe Phoenix? But they have a lot of targets that don't want to get lassoed though.
I mean, I guess it's the Wraith King. That's how they did it the first time.
Yeah, but he wants to hit.
Yeah.
Like if Wraith King can't hit, they have no damage.
But that's the thing. Like, it may not be a good game for it, and the Wraith King has to be that guy. Because if you lasso...
Nobody wants to be that guy.
I mean, I guess it's not
PYW?
awful
Okay, nice, fine.
because you're getting the 80% damage reduction. So there are other heroes that realistically could do it.
Oh,
Hex onto
he got caught.
Ame.
He's just dead.
Shackle, but he's dead.
Yep. Of course.
80% damage reduction, I think you're fine.
Yeah, but after
on
you get
most-
silenced, you're out of position, you can get Yules, you know.
Yeah.
Like if a Phoenix, sure you won't die, but you want to get a good egg off. If you're
And
forced
if you're
to
pulling
egg
them
in the
away,
map-
that's what you're looking for in the setup.
Exactly.
But also, he's looking to do that during the lasso, so it sets up to pop as the lasso ends.
Yeah, so who can you really do it with? Maybe a Storm, but it is so risky as well.
And it is really not...
I mean, they're definitely going to do it with the Wraith
Combo.
King.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel great. Because the guy that's supposed to hit them while you're pulling them is not hitting them.
You don't want to do it with the Phoenix because the egg you want off, and even really the Shadow Shaman, he's a Hex, he's a Shackle, he's Control. And Bat Rider can't lasso himself.
I mean, they don't have to
He
necessarily
could, you know
do
what,
the
they could
combo.
just use the Courier.
They can. They can. Although that requires quite a bit of micro.
Well, it was able
Trust me, a lot of Dota players cannot micro 2 units properly.
Hey, there was I think
It's not easy.
it was Phoenix or CDC that was doing it in the lower division. If a lower division team can do it, you can do it in the upper division.
Sure, if you practice that. DP, ink swelling forward. Nothing to say.
Snowball. This is going to put Jing2 out of
Exorcism
position.
popped.
But that's making them come in on this as they've got the
It does it.
lasso again, and that's going to be to the Wraith King. Jing2 gone again for 75 seconds, no buyback.
And Exorcism expanded as well.
Yeah.
Last two fights have been quite sloppy by LGD. We have seen this in the past. They're not the greatest team at closing out these games.
That is a couple of times where they've just failed to finish.
Roshan up in 1 minute now. And the Exorcism is going to be on cooldown for that one.
Hmm. 17K lead. 40 seconds until the next Roche. Like, that could be where LGD gain a little confidence.
Or
Coming onto
perhaps
the high ground, or
where
Vici,
VG
if they
mounts the
steal it.
comeback.
Yeah.
That's going to be the third one, right? Or
Yeah.
second?
I believe
I believe
the
it's third. Is it? Yeah, I think it is. I'm actually not sure. Oh, yeah, it's the third one. Whew, thank you for saving me. It is going to be the third Roshan, so it's either a Refresher Shard, which is amazing for DP, or the Aghanim Scepter, which is also going to be very good for this Dire team. Tusk Axe is so good against heroes like Wraith King. He uses BKB, just kick him out,
Yeah.
BKB gone.
I guess
Roche is up.
if he does get that Ags, which it's Refresher Shard, unfortunately.
Well, it's good for DP still.
Yeah, but it could have been the kick, the Walrus kick.
Yeah, but this time it's 2 Exorcisms. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I think that's better, for sure.
Probably.
But it's always nice to have that
For the
kick and
memes.
that punch. Go from being Mike Tuskin.
Wow, that thing dies fast, man. How fast is this troll attacking? It's insane.
So fast. Time was relic for
Bad
Vici.
right there. Or Storm. Both
Yeah,
pretty good.
we'll see who it goes to.
3.7k health on that troll. He's going to be so hard to take down. Storm has Timeless Relic plus a Ganem Scepter and level 20 talent. That means his pull is going to be very long. 3 seconds-ish on multiple targets.
So LGD need to be a little bit more split in these fights or they can all get controlled.
Yeah. Oh,
They
PYW
just
found out
know
by the Hawk.
exactly where he is, and PYW
Blink
he is
in
going
one.
to fall for the 14th time.
Wait, I don't know if I saw that correctly. Another Arcane Rune. Wow, it's actually insane.
It's every time.
And Refresher Shard as well this time.
Yeah. So 102-second cooldown. He does have Refresher, but they do have the last.
Oh, he's getting blown up.
Courier.
Well done by him.
Aeon Disc put together, and he's able to get out of the lasso.
Which is up in 5 seconds.
Lotus Orb trying to keep this troll healthy.
Wow, the
Look
Dark
at this
Portrait!
Portrait! PYW getting bullied. Supernova on the front, but they're not catching anybody.
Now,
And now the Courier is dead. The Courier that they're trying to lasso with. Oh, he's got the Vici sigil.
Oof. Using the sigil against VG. I got that one too.
Same. So let's see what they can do here. Lasso coming through on a Dark Portrait. But that's a lasso without...
Dude, it's owning him!
The Dark Portrait's owning him, and that's not a cooldown lasso. So now it's down for 90 more seconds.
They're just trickling all these ults on top of the Rex. Like a Supernova here, Shadow Shaman Wards here, a lasso on the Dark Portrait out of anything. I'm not sure what was that about, but now they have nothing. At least Exorcism is on cooldown. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
He used the Refresher Shard. That means the Arcane Rune cooldown reduction didn't do anything, at least.
But it's still megas.
We're looking for the positives here for VG. Which
The game's
are
not over yet.
not many. Yeah. Alright, let's see. Wraith King needs a rape here.
He needs, and I would say that Abyssal first, right? Gotta have some sort of
He has no
extra
Blink Dagger
control.
either.
Flame Brave pushing Ame back.
Oh, Dark Portrait out again, but just dead. Poor Dark Portrait, bullied.
Just going for the tier 4s, and Lotus Orb helping out, stunning up Puyoyo, and now Nothing to Say is right on him. The silence onto the back lines, looking over the Bat Rider and the Phoenix, but little do they know, Lasso's on cooldown still. I think they're assuming that it's on that 20-second cooldown, but he lassoed the Dark Portrait and it'll be up in a couple seconds.
Yeah. All they have to be careful about is that they don't get pulled into the fountain.
There's the lasso with the Wraith King, and he's got that Aegis. So it would have to be 2 kills right now, but there's the
Dark
Soul
Portrait
Body,
on 2.
Portrait on both with the Primal Roar on both. And they will get the first life out of the hands of this Wraith King.
Storm
and
died?
the back, they get that kill on an Ori. They will take out BYW. You've got 2 heroes gone without buyback, and it looks like Puyoyo is no more, Mo.
Storm died to Dark Portrait with Inkswell on it. There was nothing. There was on the Storm. It was literally just the Wraith King illusion that killed him.
Yeah, and
What?
LGD take a massive series. Like, that is huge for them.
Guaranteed the tiebreaker
Yeah.
now for the major. What is happening now? Elephant versus Magma, the next game. If Elephant wins, then it's a forced tiebreaker. It's going to be super good. If Magma can somehow win,
There's tiebreakers on the bottom.
yeah, and
Yeah.
LGD will go to the major. Anyway, this win was super important for them, keeping their major dreams alive against the VG that I thought would honestly demolish them.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, and LGD, they held on, and they end up taking the series. Like, that was a really close one. It also proves that LGD, even if they make it into the wild card, they could beat teams like Vici, who felt much stronger throughout the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have strong players.
Yeah.
You know, they have so many good players. It's just oftentimes they struggle with making it work in the later portions of the game where a lot of their series have been lost. But this game, they managed to close out quite convincingly. Good job on them.
Yeah, LGD take the series 2-1. To break it down a little bit further for you is the panel. Back over to you guys.
Thank you very much. Yeah, PSG.LGD get the GG in game number 3, and that is going to close out the series in their favor, proving why this region is so damn competitive that a middle-of-the-pack team are able to come back like this, put in such a performance and take down one of the top dogs, thus keeping their major dreams alive. Guys, how did they do it?
Pretty convincingly, I would say. You know, the way this game started, PYW feeding 2 kills before the Horn, and that's something we see every day. Like, PYW usually on Shaman is the one in the driver's seat, but this time around, a very tough game. Shaman really struggles, like if you have like Necro units, which he was playing against in this game, against the Beastmaster, like a much better vision game. They were controlling all the runes. Like, how many Arcane runes did Dead Prophet get in this game? I stopped counting at 5.
Yeah.
I think this game really was broken down for Vici Gaming with their Storm pick. The Storm overall in that second game looked really strong. However, in this game, it's not only that he's playing into these heroes that can catch him easily, it's that he has not really a lot of things that he can do, not a lot of plays that he can make. Like, you can perhaps pick off a Grimstroke. Everyone else has some sort of save, and also this draft of PSG.LGD naturally plays together. So you can't really even go for these pickoffs if you go for that early Orchid. Overall, I think that was the biggest issue that they had on the Vici Gaming side.
No matter what time of the game we're talking about, Storm is not gonna have, like, he's always gonna be threatened. There's always going to be like a silence, a stun, Abyssal Blade, Tusk Punch, Leash mechanics. Like, no matter how you itemize in this game, you're never going to feel like safe just going in. And like, we could see Ori just either like going in, dying, or being afraid of going in first. And yeah, we could see the power of Aghanim Scepter and Grimstroke in this game where, where Ori actually dies in the end, just the Grimstroke. Like, 11 was using lasso
on the courier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, just to keep himself alive. Still, great combination of some of the spells. I don't know if that's gonna get fixed before the major, where you can use like lasso on the couriers and on allies with the short 20-second cooldown. Seems a bit too strong, you know.
The problem in this game was, even though you can use it on allies, it's not good, right? Because you don't have a single hero that likes being... Like, usually when you look at this offlane Aghanims plus Shard is, when you have a Spirit Breaker or Abaddon or something like that on your 4 or 5, something that likes Tusk perhaps, something that goes in and then you lasso them. But in this game, the only realistical target was Wraith King. Everyone else kind of just dies or gets out of position, and you don't want that.
I really wanted them to try and combo it up with the Icarus dive from Phoenix. Obviously, very tricky to pull off, especially if you're looking for a specific target. Would have been kind of funny to see the Phoenix like swooping in, the Batrider blinking, lassoing the pit. But I mean, it's a bit it's a bit of a crazy
the problem
idea,
is you
and
put
also that's your egg.
Yeah, exactly. The problem is you put the Phoenix in the bad position then afterwards.
Phoenix was already in the bad position, playing into Troll, playing into Beastmaster. Not the easiest game for Phoenix, that's for sure. Like, I was really impressed by Fate Beyond in this game. Like, this just shows like why this guy is, you know, DI winner. Like his microing skills, forcing a BKB out of Wraith King with just a Necro unit once. It's a pretty big deal. Initiating with the dive bombs, stopping a dive with the dive bomb. I guess that's why it's called the dive bomb, possibly.
Makes
you
sense.
know, on Phoenix.
Bombed his dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bombed the game as well. Pretty damn good stuff, but our MVP for this one is going to be Xingqiu across the series, having an awesome performance, and on this Tusk, it was no different whatsoever. This guy was making plays left, right, and center, some fun snowballs, some nice saves, some turnarounds, and constantly catching heroes as well. I mean, the amount of times he managed to get on top of this Shaman and this Batrider was absolutely ridiculous.
Poor PYW ended up with like 12, 14 deaths or something.
14, I think it was.
And
15,
Tusk
yeah.
was responsible for a good chunk of those 14 deaths. So overall, really well played by him again, proving why he's considered one of the best fours right now in the Chinese region.
Yeah, fantastic job. And again, you know, his stocks have just been rising and rising over time. The Chinese region does seem to be the region of these creative four positions that find new ways to play the game, but sometimes just take it back to basics, you know, play a solid Tusk game, and when you look this good, you know, this guy, he's just looking like such a contender for one of the best players of the region. Like, he is just getting better and better every time we see him. Super exciting player to watch, and no different here. And now, prospects of going to the major, still alive, but, and there's a big but, you know, they do need to now play probably a tiebreaker versus Elephant for that, because Elephant are probably going to win versus Magma. A pretty convincing series it should be in theory, and there you go, get the standings up, have a look at those, so you can see exactly what we're talking about, because after this game LGD are 4-3, Elephant hanging out just behind them at 3-3, but their series versus Magma still to come tomorrow. And the other series we have tomorrow, which is even more interesting, is IG versus Team Asta.
Yep. So IG are given that chance to solidify their first position and just go straight into the playoffs. Meanwhile, Team Aster are given a chance as well to equalize and bring us another additional tiebreaker on the top as well, right?
Yep. If Aster beat IG, then there will be a tiebreaker again. They'll basically rematch each other. But if IG beat Team Aster, then it'll be a rematch between Aster and Vici Gaming to find out who's going to those group stages and who's going to the wildcards.
So we're having 2 tiebreakers almost 100%, right? I mean, Elephant is considered heavily favored versus Team Magma, so that's going to be the first one.
Yep.
And the second one is, yeah, it doesn't matter.
The top three must play a tiebreaker. Yeah. So a lot on the line still for this region, and we'll definitely be coming back again on Sunday to cover those tiebreaker games, because they're inevitable. They are inevitable. And, well,
we love some tiebreakers.
We certainly do. We certainly do. We love teams being pushed their absolute maximum, being put to the flames. And, you know, with LGD today, I think it's kind of proving that the teams which can react best to this pressure are the teams that are going to do best, because they are really been a team which has transformed. As long as we don't look at game number 2, we can see some really solid drafting, backed up by some really concrete gameplay. I mean, what have been your highlights of the day so far?
The second game and the second draft that you talked about has been my highlight overall from PSG.LGD.
Okay, this is a psychopath. Moving on. Look off.
5 agility heroes draft. Well, looks
it's
really
definitely the highlight. It's
really good. I think Xingqiu, I think I already mentioned it a couple of times, becoming one of my favorite, if not the favorite player overall in China. Like what he does, like you said, he's very innovative with the builds, like what he does on the map. I just love his playstyle overall. Kind of reminds me of Baboka. Kind of similar in some departments, but also like very crazy going in, you know, that kind of a stuff, making stuff happen on the map, like very aggressive, which I really like. I love that playstyle.
Yep, and every single time we see him, you know, he's just stepping it up time and time again. Maybe a little underperforming at the start of the tournament, but not the case anymore. Jinkyu is back in business, LGD are back in business, and they take the win today. But let's have a look to tomorrow, because if you're hungry for more Dota, then we've got 2 extra large helpings coming out tomorrow with Elephant versus Team Magma, and then Team Aster versus IG. Now, I'm not going to ask you your thoughts on the first series because we know it is heavily Elephant favored, but Team Aster versus IG. Guys, what are we thinking about this series?
It's going to be a rough one. Very difficult to call. Maybe slightly favoring IG here as they are yet to drop a series, at least in the DPC. But Team Aster, they're no pushover. There's a reason why these 2 teams are the first and the second slot of the DPC league so far.
Kind of hard to predict. Like both of these teams showed some great performance. No matter who wins dominance throughout this whole DPC league, no matter who wins, I just want to see these teams play against other regions because these are the best teams that China can offer for sure.
Yeah, and some of the best teams in the world for certain. Like the standard of Dota we have here at the DPC Chinese region is absolutely outstanding, and today has been no exception as the teams bought their A games and resulted in a fantastic series between these 2 teams. And of course, tomorrow will be more of the same, so make sure you guys tune in tomorrow here at the same place, or you can head over to the YouTube stream. The 4K ultra high definition stream will be up on YouTube, so check that out if you so desire. But from today, we will be saying goodbye. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream again. Yeah, facing nights in the morning, white lies are fading in. Waiting for a sign that takes me back to the beginning. No time for guilt or pleasure. You know I can't do that. I wish that I knew better, 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 better. Used to waking up in company, but I know you know we won't make it. Packing all my things and leave again. Yeah, I get lost in all I see. All that neon goes on till dawn, leading to an empty dream, 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 dream. We tried to work this out before, but now I'm stronger. Ignite the fire once more, but I don't want you. Tracing city lights, make it right. I don't wanna press play. Ooh, days washing away.